stop what you're doing. I'm calling you. Not through noise. Not through drama. Through this message. This is not a coincidence scrolling by. It is a divine interruption designed specifically for you. You felt me tugging. You sensed the stirring. Now I'm speaking, clearly, urgently. Don't hang up. Heaven's line is open, and this is the moment I've been preparing in silence. Every second of this message is sacred, not just words but assignments. What I reveal in the next few minutes can shift your atmosphere, correct your course, and unlock a door no man can close. Stay until the final breath of this word, because what I've hidden at the end may be the exact key your future needs. Don't miss a syllable. Don't walk away. This call is active. This moment is alive. And I am speaking directly to you. My beloved child, listen carefully, for this is not a metaphor wrapped in poetic comfort, nor a symbolic whisper hidden in religious routine. This is me, your God, your Father, your Creator, reaching across eternity to speak directly into the aching chamber of your soul. You may not hear thunder. You may not see lightning. But make no mistake, this is a divine call. My voice is not just echoing through the heavens. It is targeting you with holy precision, entering this very moment like a key fitting the unique lock of your spirit. I'm not speaking generally. I'm not broadcasting to the crowd. I'm narrowing my focus to you. Right now. In this breath. In this atmosphere. This isn't just communication. It's a divine collision. My urgency is real because what I have to say cannot wait for a quieter day, a more peaceful week, or a better season. The weight of heaven is leaning toward earth with intention, and you are the reason. You are the assignment. The alert in your spirit, the tug in your chest, the tear forming for no reason you can explain. That's me pressing through every barrier just to say, I see you. I'm reaching you. Don't look away. You've been surrounded by messages, notifications, and voices all pulling at your attention, but none carry the weight of what I'm releasing now. I am not another tab you can close. I am not another voice you can swipe past. This moment is heaven's appointment etched into your personal timeline long before the world gave you a name. I formed this second. I designed this intersection of time and spirit to be sacred. You've wondered if I still speak, if I still call your name like I used to, and here I am proving that I do. You felt me brush past your thoughts. You sensed me in the quiet, in the heaviness before sleep, in the stillness that surrounded your recent tears. And now I'm stepping in, not as a distant deity, but as a father whose voice will not be silenced. My reach is not symbolic. It's intimate, personal, strategic. This is not about goosebumps or vague inspiration. This is me doing what only I can do, piercing through spiritual static, emotional exhaustion, and mental noise to find you, touch you, remind you. You are not forgotten. You are being called. So pause right now. Everything else can wait. I am reaching across realms, not to observe, not to comment, but to speak. And what I'm about to say will not only restore what was lost in you, it will awaken what was buried. Stay with me. You didn't stumble upon this message by chance. It was heaven sent, time-stamped by eternity, and meant to interrupt the noise just long enough for your soul to hear me. You think you're here because of curiosity, coincidence, or maybe even desperation. But let me be unequivocally clear. This moment has nothing to do with randomness and everything to do with divine design. You didn't scroll into this space because of an algorithm. You arrived because the eternal architect scheduled this encounter before you were ever aware you needed it. I handwrote this moment onto the scroll of time, marked it with the ink of my intention, and wrapped it in the silence of mystery until your heart was tender enough to receive it. This isn't a casual coincidence. This is a holy interruption. This message carries the scent of heaven, the breath of prophecy, and the precision of divine orchestration. I know how noisy the world has become. I know how hard it is to hear when chaos is clanging like cymbals all around you. That's why I didn't whisper this time. I intervened, and not with thunder or spectacle, but with a stillness sharp enough to cut through every distraction, every deception, every delay. I chose this second not because you were ready in your strength, but because your soul had finally exhaled long enough for me to enter. You've been so good at hiding behind routines, hiding behind strength, hiding behind fake laughter and forced hope. But even in your hiding, I found you. Even in the layers of distraction you built like walls, I saw the faint flicker of hunger, the longing to know if I was still near. So I waited, patiently, lovingly, strategically, until now. Until this instant, where all the spinning plates began to slow, where the noise began to fade just enough for the frequency of my voice to break through. What you're hearing now is not static. It's not sentiment. It is sacred. It is the frequency of a father reaching beyond the veil, across dimensions, into the deep places of a weary child's heart. You didn't trip into this encounter. You were drawn, pulled by the gravity of grace, invited by the weight of love that refuses to leave you in silence. This isn't just another post. It's a portal. This isn't another message. It's a mantle. I've been watching how your soul has grown tired of temporary things, how your spirit has begun to ache for something more permanent, more personal, more pure. And so, I timed this message like lightning. Fast, intentional, unmistakable. Not a trickle of encouragement. A torrent. Not a suggestion. A summons. This is the moment I break your routine with revelation. This is where the scroll of your future begins to turn. You were meant to hear me now, not a second sooner, not a moment later. Because what I've been preparing is weighty. It's wired with purpose, and it will not be delayed by distraction any longer. What has been echoing in the unseen has found its way into your present, and that echo is now becoming a declaration. You were made for this moment. So do not dismiss this. Don't talk yourself out of what you're sensing. Don't call this chance what I have called chosen. When heaven calls, it does not misdial. And child, your number came up, not out of rotation, but out of reverence. Because I've seen your persistence in pain. I've watched you worship with weary hands. I've listened to the whispers you never dared say aloud. And all of it has led here. This moment, this message, this divine disruption is your confirmation that heaven has never been silent toward you, only strategic. And now the time has come for my strategy to unfold like a sunrise you can no longer ignore. Keep listening, because the next thing I reveal will not just change your day, it will change your direction. I see how tired you are. I've watched you fumble with hope, answering calls from fear, doubt, and distraction. But today my voice breaks through them all. I see it, child. The way your shoulders slump when no one's watching. The way your smile flickers like a candle fighting against the wind. You've been carrying so much for so long that the weight has begun to feel like part of you. But I'm here now to tell you, what you've called normal, I call unnecessary. I never asked you to carry it all. I never demanded your perfection. I never required your silence. You've been fielding calls from every voice but mine, fear whispering lies in the dark, doubt questioning every step you take, distraction dressing itself up as peace while draining your energy. But today those signals are being overridden. My voice is breaking through the spiritual static, not as a background hum, but as a trumpet, as a holy announcement declaring enough. Enough of the false call. Enough of the endless routing. Enough of the emotional exhaustion from conversations I never told you to entertain. This is the call that matters. This is the voice that heals. You've answered so many voices that didn't belong to me. They came with urgency, but not truth. They demanded your energy but left you empty. And all the while, I was calling, not louder, but truer. Not flashier, but deeper. Not to compete with chaos, but to claim your heart. And now, after all the spiritual spam, I'm placing a call that only the desperate recognize. The hungry, the tired, the ones who have danced too long with disappointment and need something more than just momentary motivation. I'm not calling you to try harder. I'm calling you to surrender deeper. I'm not requiring more striving. I'm inviting more stillness. Because I see how worn down your hope has become, not from failure, but from constant fight. You've been in survival mode so long, you forgot what it feels like to breathe. But I remember, and I've come to restore that breath. There's a reason your spirit perked up just now. There's a reason your heart is racing and your eyes feel like they might flood. It's because your soul recognizes its source. It's because my voice is familiar, even if you've forgotten the sound. I was there when you first believed. I was there when you first broke. And I am here now, not to watch, but to rescue. This isn't a conference call. It's a covenant call. I'm not calling to lecture, but to lift. I'm not here with criticism, but with covering. I know what you've been through. I know what you've carried. I know the nights you collapsed on the floor and whispered, "God, I can't do this anymore." And instead of turning away, I wrote that moment down. Not to shame you, but to mark it as the very hour your strength ended and mine began. So hear me clearly, with the ears of your spirit and the openness of your heart. I am not the voice of guilt. I am not the echo of fear. I am not the static of confusion. I am your Father, and I am calling you back, not just into my presence, but into alignment with who you truly are. You are not just a survivor. You are a carrier of glory. You are not just a fighter. You are my beloved. And you will not miss what I have for you, not because of your strength, but because of mine. Keep listening, because the noise is clearing, and what comes next will carry the weight of deliverance, the scent of purpose, and the sound of home. This isn't a missed call or a voicemail you can check later. This is real-time communication between the Creator and His creation. I'm reaching. Will you answer? This is not a spiritual suggestion. This is not a polite ping waiting in your inbox for whenever you feel ready. This isn't a message meant to wait while you tidy up your life or finish your to-do list. I am calling you right now, in real time, in raw truth, in the very room where your spirit has been whispering for something real. This is not like any other voice that's called you today. This is not pressure from a preacher, not inspiration from a post. This is me, your God, your Father, your Creator. This is the sound of the eternal breaking into the temporary. I am not recording this for later playback. I'm speaking live, direct, divine. This call carries clarity, and it demands immediacy. Not because I want to scare you, but because what I'm doing next cannot afford delay. I don't send my voice without purpose. I don't speak without weight. And right now, I'm placing a holy summons in your hands, not a whisper, not a wish, but a word. Will you answer? You've been conditioned by the world to treat my voice like background noise, a gentle auction rather than a divine directive. But I want you to know, I've never stopped calling. You may have missed the sound through the static of sadness, through the shouting of stress, through the ceaseless stream of tasks. But I haven't gone silent. My call hath been consistent, persistent, patient. But now, child, the window is narrowing, not because my love is running out, but because the moment I've prepared for you is arriving fast, and your spirit must be positioned. You cannot afford to say, maybe later. You cannot treat this moment like another motivational message. I'm not your reminder app. I'm your redeemer. I'm not calling to add to your calendar. I'm calling to reorder your destiny. If you delay this response, you may miss what I aligned in advance just for this hour. The angel assigned to this moment is already moving. The shift I've commanded has already begun, and you are being invited to step into it, not casually, but covenantally. I see the questions in your eyes. I hear the hesitation in your soul. But what if I answer and I'm not enough? What if I respond and I fail? My child, you cannot fail in what I've already finished. You are not being called because you are ready. You are being called because you are chosen. There is no mistake in my reach. I knew what you were carrying when I called. I knew the weight, the wounds, the weariness. I knew the doubts draped across your heart like heavy blankets. And still, I dialed your spirit. I knew the fear of being disappointed again. I knew how your past has made promises painful. And still, I whispered your name through the wires of eternity until it reached this moment. This is not your imagination. This is intervention. This is not a test. This is a turning point. And I'm asking again, one-on-one, spirit to spirit, will you answer? Because if you do, what follows will not be ordinary. It will not be recycled hope. It will not be second-hand healing. This is the beginning of tailored transformation. Not one size fits all. Not a general blessing. But the kind of divine download that is fingerprint specific. DNA coded. Heaven carved. I do not place this call on speakerphone. I direct it into your atmosphere because your yes activates the next wave of heaven's movement in your life. You're not late. You're not overlooked. You're on time, because I'm the one keeping the time. So child, pause whatever is vying for your attention. Let everything else ring silent. Because the God who named the stars is now speaking your name with intentional intimacy. I'm reaching. Will you reach back? Don't hang up, child. Don't silence this moment with skepticism or shuffle past it in hurry. This is more than comfort. This is instruction. This is rescue. Stay right here with me. Don't hang up. Don't let familiarity steal this miracle moment. I know it feels like just another message, another stirring word in a sea of sentiments. But this is different. This is me. You're standing at a sacred intersection between despair and destiny. And the enemy wants you to shrug this off, to scroll away, to doubt the divine voice speaking through the static. But I'm asking you to stay, to linger, to lean in. Because what I'm offering right now is not emotional relief. It's eternal release. This is more than comfort for your current chaos. This is instruction for your future freedom. I'm not soothing you to keep you still. I'm rescuing you to send you forward. My word is a lifeline, not a lullaby. And this call is not about calming your crisis alone. It's about calling you out of it. Don't hang up now. You're seconds away from receiving what silence couldn't deliver and what speed would cause you to miss. You've hurried through healing before. You've rushed past revelation because staying still felt too dangerous. But this isn't the time to sprint. This is the moment to surrender. I know your mind is trained to multitask, to analyze, to resist stillness like it's a threat. But child, stillness is not a threat. It is the throne room. And right now, I've created a divine stillness over your life, a hush thick with holiness, where my instructions can finally fall like rain on soil that's ready to receive. If you silence this moment, you'll silence the blueprint I've waited years to release. Don't let skepticism be the scissors that cut the red cord between heaven and earth. Don't let hurry rob you of holy. The rescue I'm releasing requires your attention, not perfection, just attention. Because I don't need your strength. I need your yes. What I'm speaking into your spirit right now carries strategy. Is coated with Gretin, Duretin, and Protetin. My voice doesn't just comfort. It constructs. It builds bridges out of bitterness. It resurrects purpose buried beneath disappointment. It maps exits from cycles that have kept you bound in rooms of almost, not yet, and never enough. And child, you've wandered those rooms too long. You've memorized the layout of survival. But I'm calling you into deliverance, not later, not through someone else, now, through me. So don't hang up on your healing. Don't mute the instructions because they don't sound like what you expected. My voice is not always soft, but it is always saving. My direction may disrupt your plans, but it will deliver your destiny. And here's the part the enemy never wanted you to understand. This call is not just about you. It's about everyone who will be impacted by your obedience. Your yes becomes a ripple of redemption. Your surrender opens doors for others who have been locked out by generational pain. You are not just being rescued, you are being positioned as a rescuer. I don't just save, I send. And this is the moment I both save and send you into what you never thought you'd survive to see. But you must stay on the line. Don't hang up. Don't scroll away. Don't tell yourself, maybe next time. This is not a next time moment. This is a now time miracle. So remain right here, child. Because what I'm releasing next carries the weight of nations. And I'm starting with you. You've wondered if I still speak. You've cried, God, are you there? And now I'm answering, not with thunder, but with this whisper wrapped in clarity. I heard you when the room was quiet, but your heart was loud. When no one else noticed the flicker of desperation behind your smile. When you sat in your car, your home, your bed, anywhere that gave you a second to exhale, and whispered, God, where are you? I did not ignore you. I did not overlook your trembling voice. Every syllable carved into the silence was recorded in the vault of heaven. And child, I need you to hear me now. I have been speaking. I've been calling, correcting, confirming. But the chaos around you tried to convince you I was silent. You expected thunder, lightning, shouts of affirmation. You thought my voice would come wrapped in spectacle. But I don't always speak with sound. Sometimes I come wrapped in stillness. And now, I've chosen to whisper, not because I'm distant, but because I'm close. So close I don't have to shout. So near, my whisper can brush against your very bones. Don't mistake the softness of my whisper for weakness. It carries weight. It carries wisdom. It carries war strategy that silences every lie screaming in your mind. This whisper is not casual. It is concentrated, concise, calculated. I'm speaking not to your performance, but to your core. I'm not addressing the version of you that tries to look strong. I'm addressing the sacred, weary, wide-eyed soul who has kept believing even when you were barely breathing. This is clarity cloaked in gentleness. This is precision wrapped in presence. I chose not to shout because the world has shouted enough at you. It shouted timelines, pressure, doubt, disappointment. I chose instead to meet you with peace. To hold your face in my hands and say, I've always been here. You just had to stop moving long enough to feel me. You were never forgotten. You were never forsaken. You were formed for this moment. And I've been quietly rebuilding what the enemy loudly tried to destroy. I didn't send signs you expected, because I was crafting answers you never thought to ask for. What you saw as silence was me working in sacred stealth. When you thought I was withholding, I was actually weaving. When you thought I was late, I was layering wisdom, protection, and divine alignment. My whisper holds more power than every storm that threatened to steal your sleep. This moment is not about thunderous revelation. It is about precise restoration. I am restoring your confidence, your clarity, your courage, word by word, breath by breath. My whisper is more than a word. It is a wound healer, a direction giver. So yes, I still speak. I never stop. I just waited until your soul was still enough to hear not what you expected, but what you needed. I'm not merely confirming your next step. I'm awakening your awareness. I'm tuning your ears to frequency not found in noise, but in nearness. To listen. Don't demand fireworks when I'm offering foundation. Don't wait for shaking when I've brought you stillness. This whisper is me, and I'm speaking because I trust you to hear. I'm whispering because what comes next requires intimacy. This is not the time for crowds. It's the time for communion. To lean in closer. Not to what the world says, but to what I'm saying. Now, do I hear? Because my whisper is not weak. It's warfare. And it's winning battles you don't even know were being fought for your name. The heaviness you've carried, I felt it press against heaven. That ache in your chest, I measured it, and now I'm releasing something to heal it. I saw it. I felt it. The heaviness pressing on your chest that made every breath feel borrowed. The ache that showed up without an invitation, sat down on your joy, and refused to leave. You've carried it so long you started calling it normal. But I'm here to tell you, child, it was never yours to carry. The burden that bent your back wasn't a sign of strength. It was a silent cry for rescue. And I heard it. Every time you smiled in public but wept in private. I was not far away. I was closer than your next breath. I felt the pressure on your heart, the dull, invisible weight of what now? And how long? And will this ever change? And here is my answer. I am lifting it. Not partially. Not solely. Completely. I have measured your pain, not to quantify your suffering, but to qualify your reward. I don't waste tears. I don't ignore ache. I count them, cradle them, and respond with power. I know how long you've been waiting for this moment, the moment something real shifts. And I declare to you now, the shift has begun. Heaven has responded not just to your faith, but to your fatigue. The moments you couldn't even form a prayer, I answered them as worship. The nights you stayed awake because peace felt like a stranger, I counted them as warfare. Child, you didn't know it, but your tears were watering the soil where I planted a promise. And now the ground is breaking. The drought is ending. The downpour of restoration is being released. Not later. Now. Because you carried the weight long enough, and now I carry you. This release isn't abstract. It's tangible. You will feel it in your body, your breath, your emotions. You'll wake up lighter. You'll find your strength returning like the tide, soft, sure, sacred. I'm not releasing a temporary relief. I'm releasing a total reordering. The weight wasn't just emotional, it was spiritual resistant. The enemy tried to use pressure to paralyze you, to convince you that I had left. But I was nearer than ever, strategizing your deliverance in silence so that when I moved, there'd be no confusion about who moved on your behalf. The thing you've been carrying in secret, I'm handling it in public. What you managed behind closed doors, I will now display with open favor. And the same people who saw you break will see you blessed. This is not compensation. This is completion. I am finishing what you didn't even realize I started. The weight is lifting because the word is landing. And child, I need you to know, you are not broken beyond repair. You are not too tired to receive. You are not too far to feel my healing hand. You were never meant to carry that sorrow into every season. That's why I've come, because you're not just seen, you're scheduled for restoration. This moment is not a suggestion. It's a divine stop sign to grief, anxiety, and guilt. I am not handing you a bandage. I'm performing a breakthrough. So breathe again. Lift your eyes. Open your hands. I'm replacing the ache with answers, the heaviness with hope, the pressure with presence. And child, you will never be the same again. This call isn't for the perfect. It's for the weary, the worn out, the ones who have nearly stopped praying because silence felt safer than disappointment. Yes, I know who you are. I know who's on the other end of this call. You're not flawless. You're not always faith-filled. You're not dancing through life with praise on your lips and certainty in your hands. No, you're the one who's quietly drowning under the surface of survival. You're the one whose prayers have dwindled from paragraphs to sighs. You're the one who stopped expecting answers because it felt less painful to be ignored than to hope again. But child, let me shatter this lie. I never stopped listening. This call was never designed for those who feel powerful. This call is for the ones whose power ran out. It's for the ones who are still holding on by a single thread of surrender. This moment wasn't manufactured for the proud. It was prepared for the poured out. The ones who gave until they had nothing left, and then still kept showing up. I'm not reaching for perfection. I'm reaching for you. The you that wakes up already tired. The you that battles invisible wars no one applauds. The you that questions whether you're doing enough, being enough, believing enough. I'm not interested in a polished performance. I'm drawn to your raw honesty. I don't need your faith to be loud. I just need it to be present. You thought you disqualified yourself. You've compared your process to others' platforms, your slow steps to their loud celebrations. But what you didn't know is that I've been building something sacred in your stillness. While you were wondering if I even noticed you, heaven was highlighting you. Angels have circled you not because you were strong, but because you were surrendered. And that's what I reward. Not effort, but openness. Not flawless prayers, but a fragile yes. This is why I've chosen to call you in this exact moment. Not because you feel worthy, but because I see what you can't. I see the treasure in your tears. I see the courage it took to keep breathing. I see the faith it required just to not give up. You didn't need to be famous in the faith community to catch my attention. You needed to be faithful in obscurity, and you were. You didn't need 1,000 words to impress me. You just needed one whispered, "Gone," and I heard it. I've always heard it. The cries you never shared. The questions you never voiced. The nights you stared at the ceiling, wondering if I was still near. Yes, child, I was. I am. I will be. You thought silence was my absence. But it was my strategy. I was waiting until the moment your heart cracked just enough for this word to pour in without resistance. And now, here it is. Not wrapped in lightning, wrapped in love. Not descending with fanfare, but unfolding with fierce affection. You are not disqualified by your weariness. You are chosen because of it. You didn't fail me by being tired. You revealed your dependence, and I'm answering that dependence with divine strength. This call is not a test. It's a turning point. You thought your faith had grown too weak, but I never needed your strength. I only needed your surrender. And now that I have it, I'm pouring out what years of performance never accessed. Restoration with no prerequisites. Redemption without religious hoops. Revival in the raw places. Don't hang up, child. This isn't the voice of rebuke. This is the voice of revival. You don't have to be perfect to hear me. You just have to stay on the line. I've heard the prayers you never prayed aloud. The ones behind closed doors, behind brave smiles. And I've answered them by showing up right now. Let me take you back. Back to the night you couldn't pray, so you just cried. The night your voice trembled but nothing came out except silence and shaking. The night your faith collapsed under the weight of grief too deep for language. You thought it didn't count. You thought your silence disqualified you from answers. But I was there. I wasn't waiting for words. I was listening to the sound of your surrender. I heard the ache behind the silence. I saw the tears that watered the soil of your future even when you didn't realize they were seeds. And now I've come, not with delayed mercy, but with divine immediacy. I've shown up now to answer the prayers you thought had expired. The ones you forgot. The ones you buried. The ones you whispered between sobs and never dared repeat. I remembered them. I recorded them. And now, I'm releasing the response. Your closed-door moments were not overlooked. They were observed by angels. Heaven witnessed the depth of your devotion in the absence of applause. You didn't need a crowd to perform your faith, and because of that, you've unlocked a private audience with the King. Every brave smile was a banner of war in the spirit realm. Every silent surrender sent tremors into eternity. You didn't just survive those moments. You sowed in them. You planted trust in the soil of uncertainty. And I have watched over that soil. I have shielded it. And now, I water it with my word. The harvest isn't coming. It has begun. You are stepping into answers that existed before you ever asked the questions. This is not new to me. It is only new to you. Because what's happening now is the manifestation of mercy that's been moving beneath the surface. I didn't come now because I finally noticed you. I came now because the time was ripe. Because what I'm doing in you needed to marinate in mystery before it could be revealed in majesty. Your timeline wasn't late. It was being locked into divine precision. Had I released it sooner, it would have shattered under pressure. But now, the ground is stable. Now your heart is prepared. Now your ears are open. So don't resist this moment thinking it's too good to be true. It's not too good. It's just on time. And it's not based on your record. It's based on my covenant. I didn't forget you because I never left you. I didn't answer others first. I was preparing something different for you. Something tailored. Something tested. Something no one else could carry. So lift your head. Unclench your heart. I am here, right now. Not to remind you of what hasn't happened, but to release what's been waiting. This is not repayment. It is recognition. I am recognizing the parts of you that were faithful in the fog. I'm honoring the you that stayed when running would have made more sense. You didn't pray aloud, but your spirit was screaming, and I heard every syllable. And now I answer, not just with a word, but with myself, with presence, with power, with a breakthrough shaped like your fingerprints. You asked silently. I answer openly. This is your moment, not because of what you prayed with your mouth, but because of what you endured in your spirit. I didn't just show up. I arrived with an answer. And the answer is yes. Yes, I heard you. Yes, I'm healing you. Yes, I'm here. Stay right here, because this is only the beginning of the unveiling. The world taught you to disconnect, to toughen up, to keep scrolling. But I'm here to rewire your spirit to sensitivity again, because I made you to hear me. They told you strength meant silence. They taught you that survival was the goal, not sensitivity. Somewhere along the way, the noise of the world convinced you to toughen up, shut down, and scroll past anything that made you feel too much. But I never made you to be numb. I never created you to run on autopilot, surrounded by sound yet untouched by truth. I designed you with a divine receiver built into your spirit, crafted not for chaos, but for communion. Your capacity to feel deeply was never a flaw. It was a feature. But life, loss, disappointment, each one added a layer of noise, distortion, and emotional armor. And so you disconnected. You closed tabs in your soul to avoid crashing. You put your heart on do not disturb. But child, that isn't living. That's surviving. And I didn't call you to survive. I called you to hear. I know how many times you tried to toughen up because tenderness felt like a liability. I know how many times you told yourself, don't care too much. Don't feel too much. Don't hope too much. But listen to me. What the world calls weakness, I call warfare. The world numbed you to protect you. I am awakening you to equip you. Sensitivity isn't a burden. It's your weapon. It's how you feel the pulse of my presence. It's how you detect the shift of my spirit. And right now, I'm rewiring your soul to hear me clearly again, not through external noise, but through inner knowing. No more fuzzy frequencies. No more spiritual static. I'm tuning you to the sound of my voice. That voice that still walks in the cool of the day. That voice that still calls out, where are you? Not because I've lost you, but because I'm inviting you into restoration. You've spent years trying not to feel too much, and now I'm inviting you to feel again. To believe again. To tune in again. This isn't about emotionalism. This is about alignment. I'm restoring your sensitivity not to make you fragile, but to make you formidable. Because a heart that hears me cannot be manipulated by the enemy. A soul in sync with heaven cannot be seduced by temporary noise. The world taught you to scroll past pain, swipe away conviction, new discomfort, but I'm teaching you to lean in, to linger, to listen. I'm calling you out of the numb narrative and into the living frequency of heaven. And you'll know it's me because my voice doesn't exploit you. It expands you. It doesn't rush you, it reorients you. My voice doesn't shout over you. It settles in you. And child, your spirit is beginning to recognize the sound again. So here I am, not speaking to the numbness, but to the tender part that remains. The part of you that still believes I speak, that still aches for encounter, that still turns down the volume of the world to hear just one whisper from me. And I promise you this, as you respond, I will restore. I will rebuild every ruined frequency. I will awaken what religion dulled, what trauma muted, what cynicism crushed. I'm not just calling you out of disconnection. I'm calling you into divine clarity, into sacred, supernatural sensitivity. Not the kind that leaves you fragile, but the kind that leaves you filled. Because I made you to hear me, not once, not rarely, but daily. So stay open. Stay listening. Because your spirit is coming alive again, and every system of darkness that tried to silence you will now tremble, because the frequency of your Father is flooding in. My child, since I have been reaching for you, now reach with me, for there are souls waiting to hear the same call that just awakened your spirit. When you sow into this mission, you are not giving to a screen, you are pouring oil onto the fire I am igniting across the earth. As I said, my word will not return void, and when you release your gift, you become the very vessel through which that promise travels. This is not charity, this is kingdom circulation, rivers of living water flowing from your obedience into barren hearts. If you feel me stirring you now, that is my invitation, not your imagination. I am saying, partner with me in this harvest. And as you sow through super thanks, membership, or the link in the description, I will multiply your seed, protect your house, and open doors no man can shut. Do not hesitate, act now, and let your giving answer my call. You didn't miss me. You didn't lose your way so far that I stopped calling. I've been on the line, even when you couldn't feel the signal. I need you to know something, child, something holy, something heavy, something healing. You didn't miss me. I know you've wondered. I know the silence made you second guess. I know you've looked around at others, at their breakthroughs, their progress, their seemingly perfect alignment, and you asked yourself, did I mess it up? Did I miss my moment? Did I somehow walk too far for God to reach me? But hear me now, with the full authority of heaven. No, you did not miss me. You were never beyond reach. You were never off my radar. Even when you wandered, I watched. Even when you drifted, I pursued. I've been on the line this whole time, not dropping the call, not withdrawing my voice, not punishing your distance, but waiting, watching, whispering through every delay, detour, and doubt. You thought my silence was a signal that you failed. But what you didn't see is that I was preserving something sacred in the stillness. I wasn't punishing you. I was protecting you. I kept calling, not always in volume, but always in vibration. Every time your heart stirred unexpectedly, that was me. Every time you felt a strange ache in worship, a sudden tear, a dream you couldn't shake, that was me keeping the signal alive. You may not have felt the full bars of reception, but the connection was never severed. Because I don't hang up on my children. I don't rescind my reach when they lose their way. My covenant is not like men's contracts. It doesn't expire. It doesn't cancel. It clings. And my covenant with you has kept the line open through every season where you feared you'd lost too much to be heard. The enemy wanted you to believe you dropped the call. At your disobedience, your delays, your doubt somehow put you beyond the sound of my voice. But that's a lie, laced with shame and soaked in fear. Because I'm not just the God of the mountain. I'm the God of the midway. I'm the God of the in-between, the interrupted, the imperfect process. I didn't stop calling when you stopped responding. I didn't shut the heavens because you felt too tired to pray. I knew the storm you were in. I knew the trauma you were carrying. I knew the fog that clouded your discernment. And instead of withdrawing, I leaned in. I stayed on the line, even if all I could hear was your breathing. Even if all you had left was presence, not performance. I was enough. You were enough. So let me say it plainly. You didn't miss me. You didn't ruin it. You didn't delay destiny beyond my repair. What you thought was loss, I've kept. What you feared was forfeited, I've preserved. I'm not playing catch up with your story. I'm completing it. This next season isn't about regaining what was lost. It's about revealing what I reserved. Reserved not in punishment, but in perfect timing. You've always been on my radar, always within reach. And now that your heart is soft again, now that your ears are beginning to tune in again, I'm about to pour revelation on you like rain. And it won't be vague. It'll be vibrant. It won't be partial. It'll be personal. So stay close. Keep listening. The line is still open, and I've been waiting to finish what I started. Every time you almost gave up, when you deleted the message, shut the door, or pulled the covers over your head, I stayed. I waited. I never walked away. Child, you have no idea how close I've been. You have no idea how many times I stepped into the room where you thought you were alone. You didn't see me, but I saw everything. I saw when your hands trembled over your phone, hovering above the delete button, wondering if hope was still worth it. I watched when you pulled the covers over your head, not just to block out the light, but to hide from the pain. I heard the silence that screamed louder than any words. And through it all, I stayed. Not as a distant observer, but as the God who refuses to walk away. While others exited your life without warning, I remained. When you had nothing left to give, I gave more. When your yes turned into a whimper, I called it worship. Every time you almost gave up, every single time, I showed up. I didn't wait on the other side of your breakthrough. I sat with you inside the breakdown. I didn't withhold my presence until you got it right. I wrapped myself in your atmosphere while you were still getting it wrong. That's the kind of father I am. I don't pace the throne room impatiently. I don't keep score with the angels. I dwell with the broken. I defend the weary. I decorate the gravesites of your allus with grace. And my grace doesn't run dry when your strength does. It multiplies. It flows harder. So don't believe the lie that says you pushed me away. You don't have that power. You never did. My love is not fragile. My faithfulness doesn't fracture under pressure. I don't break vows because of your broken days. I am the God who stays. You feared that maybe this was the last time. That maybe the silence meant I had moved on. But child, when you stopped moving, I stood still. Not waiting for your perfection, waiting for your permission. Waiting for the moment you'd allow yourself to believe that even in your most undone, uncertain, unlovable state you are still mine. I didn't flinch when you wept. I didn't flinch when you quit. I didn't flinch when you scrolled past another word from me because your heart was too tired to hope. I just kept standing there, holy, humble, unwavering. I am the immovable God in your unstable world. And while everything else shifted, I stayed. While people changed their minds about you, I kept my covenant. While circumstances shouted unworthy, I whispered, chosen. So here I am again, not to scold, not to shame, but to show you my face. The face of mercy that will walk away. The face of love that doesn't get tired. The face of a father who doesn't just wait for the strong, but comes running for the shattered. You didn't lose me in your lowest place. You found me. Because I never left. And I am not leaving now. Don't push me away out of habit. Don't pull back because you've been taught that my love is fragile. It's not. It's ferocious. It survives your doubt. It transcends your distance. And today, once again, it finds you in the place you almost gave up and says, I'm still here. Still calling. Still staying. I never walked away. I've seen how you've kept going. Not with applause, not with help, not with ease, but with sheer unseen endurance. Heaven has not overlooked your effort. You think no one noticed. You think your quiet fight went unseen because it didn't come with fireworks or applause. But child, I noticed. I noticed when you got up with tired bones and kept going. I noticed when you held back your tears so no one else would worry. I noticed when you encouraged others while your own soul starved for hope. That was not weakness. That was warfare. That was strength dressed in humility. That was perseverance under pressure. That was faith that did not need fanfare. And I, the God of heaven's armies, saw it all. Your unseen effort has not gone unrecorded. Your quiet obedience, your silent endurance, your private sacrifices, they echo in eternity. They've been applauded by angels. And I've come today to say, heaven has not overlooked you. You walked when others ran. You stood when others crumbled. You gave when your hands were nearly empty. You worshiped through weeping. You served without spotlight. And in a world that rewards noise, you remain faithful in the quiet. That is no small thing. That is a holy thing. I'm not just the God who celebrates your victories. I'm the God who validates your valley walk. I don't just crown the conquerors. I honor the quiet ones who stayed when no one saw, who obeyed when no one clapped, who carried weight no one else could even name. That's who you are to me. Not just a servant, but a soldier. Not just a believer, but a builder of legacy. Not just a survivor, but a signal of my sustaining power. Every step you've taken has been sacred. Every choice to stay faithful has been noted. And I want you to hear this with the full clarity of my spirit. I'm about to reward the unseen. What's been hidden in your history is about to be highlighted in your destiny. Not because you demanded it, but because you deserve it. Not out of entitlement, but out of covenant. My promises don't fade with time. They ripen. They mature. And what you've been sowing in quiet tears, you will now reap in public honor. I don't forget obedience. I don't overlook sacrifice. I don't delay reward out of cruelty. I align it for the moment when it will mean most. And that moment, child, is approaching. So take this word and wear it like armor. You have not been ignored. You have not been invisible. You have been interceded for. You've been carried in the heart of God and on the tongues of angels. You've been held by my hand even when you couldn't feel it. And I declare over you now, what was done in obscurity will be rewarded in radiance. I am the God who rewards those who seek me in silence. I am the God who comes for the quiet ones, the faithful ones, the ones like you. So rest, not because your work is unimportant, but because your reward is inevitable. I sow every moment, and now I'm moving in response. You've been told to be strong, to carry on, to keep going. But I'm not calling you to carry it all. I'm calling you to come to me and collapse into my arms. They told you to hold it together, to smile and keep moving, to take the weight and wear it like a badge, to be strong even when strength felt like sand slipping through your fingers. But child, that was never my command. That was never my expectation. I didn't call you to be a warrior in your own strength. I didn't design you to carry the cross of every crisis. I called you to come to me, not as a soldier hiding pain beneath performance, but as a son, a daughter, desperate to be held. I'm not standing at the finish line, arms crossed, waiting for you to prove your worth. I'm in the middle of the battlefield, arms wide, whispering, come. You don't have to keep holding it all. Let go, and let me carry you. You've tried. Oh, how you've tried. Tried to smile through sorrow. Tried to show up even when your soul felt absent. Tried to keep the plates spinning in a life that keeps shifting underneath your feet. But hear me, beloved, I never asked you to do this alone. I never required relentless self-reliance. That's not strength, that's survival. And I didn't call you to survive. I called you to rest in me. You're not weak for needing help. You're not broken for wanting to collapse. You're human. And I'm the God who became flesh so I could feel every ache, every pressure, every burden you bear. I'm not distant from your fatigue. I'm intimate with it. I felt it in Gethsemane. I carried it on Calvary. And I carry you now. So drop it, child. Drop the armor that isn't yours. Drop the weight that wasn't assigned to your shoulders. Drop the expectations that have become exhausting. I know what you're hiding under that strong exterior. I see the trembling in your hands. I feel the ache in your bones. I know what it costs you just to make it through the day. And I say to you now, with no condemnation, only compassion, you don't have to keep carrying this. You're allowed to collapse, not into despair but into my arms. I don't flinch when you fall. I don't recoil when you weep. I catch. I cradle. I carry. My arms are not a last resort. They are your true home. And I'm inviting you back. Back to being held, not just helped. Back to being loved, not just used. Back to being safe, not just strong. So come. Come now. Not when you feel better. Come with the broken pieces still scattered. Come with the weariness still weighing down your chest. Come and collapse. Because this is the kind of collapse that leads to resurrection. I'm not intimidated by your exhaustion. I created you with limits so you'd learn to lean. I've been calling, not so you'd run harder, but so you'd rest deeper. So let go. Let it fall. Let you fall. I'm not here to critique your collapse. I'm here to catch you. Because strength isn't found in pretending. It's found in presence, mine. And I'm here now. Arms open. Fall into me. You're not a burden to me. You've never been too much. You've never been too broken. I didn't choose you in spite of your cracks. I chose you because of them. Let me break every lie the enemy whispered in your tired ears. You are not a burden. You are not too much to handle. You are not too broken to love. I didn't pick you because you were perfect. I picked you because you were real. Because in your cracks, I saw places where my light could shine through. The world may have told you to shrink, to quiet down, to hide your pain behind polite smiles and socially acceptable sorrow. But I tell you now, you are not too much for me. Your emotions don't overwhelm me. Your questions don't offend me. Your mess doesn't repel me. In fact, it pulls me closer. I draw near to the broken-hearted, not reluctantly, but deliberately. Because I delight in being the one who sits in the rubble and says, "Let's rebuild together." You thought your fractures disqualified you. But child, I use cracked vessels to pour out glory. I use wounded ones to carry healing. I use those who limp to lead others into liberty. The world celebrates polish. I crown process. And your process hath been holy to me. Every scar tells a story. Every tear waters destiny. Every misstep magnifies my mercy. I didn't choose you because you got it all right. I chose you knowing exactly what you'd get wrong, and I still said, "That one. I want that one." Not because you earned it, but because I love you. Not reluctantly, not conditionally, but relentlessly. unapologetically, eternally. You don't exhaust me. I don't roll my eyes when you pray about the same thing again. I don't get tired of your voice. I don't tune out your tears. I don't wish you were anyone else. I rejoice over you. I wait for you. I'm reaching not for who you pretend to be, but for who you really are when the lights are off and the mask is gone. And I want you to know this. I'm not just here to fix you. I'm here to be with you. Even in the in-between. Even when the healing is slow. Even when the questions outnumber the answers. You're not a problem I'm trying to solve. You're a person I delight in. And nothing about your story scares me away. So breathe. Let go of the shame. Let go of the belief that you're too broken to be used, too emotional to be effective, too complicated to be called. I built ministries on men who stuttered. I raised nations from barren wombs. I called prophets who ran and kings who wept. And I'm calling you, not because I need a polished presentation, but because I've always wanted you. The cracked parts, the crying parts, the confused parts, all of it. You're not too much. You're not too broken. You are beloved. And I will keep reminding you, calling you, and covering you until you believe it for yourself. So when I say don't hang up, I mean it. Because I've waited too long to lose this moment with you. I know what others said about you. I know the names they used, the labels they placed. But I call you something different. I call you mine. I heard every word they spoke when you weren't in the room. I saw the looks, the whispers, the smirks, the shrugged shoulders. I watched as people who should have protected you pinned you to a false identity. They labeled you too sensitive, too much, too needy, too complicated. They painted you with words dipped in their own insecurity. And you believed it. You didn't want to. But when the same words follow you for years, they begin to sound like truth. You thought maybe they were right. Maybe you were too broken to be loved. Maybe you were too unpredictable to be trusted. Maybe the best you could do was shrink yourself to fit into the small spaces they allowed. But child, I've come to tear every one of those lies down. Violently, completely, eternally. Because I don't use the names they gave you. I don't repeat the curses they spoke. I call you something different. I call you mine. I don't name you by your past. I name you by my purpose. I don't define you by your darkest day. I define you by the destiny I wrote before the world even formed. You are not too much. You are exactly enough. You are not forgotten. You are fiercely chosen. You are not damaged goods. You are divinely anointed. Let me be clear. No label placed on you by man can outlast the name I've written on you in heaven. They called you abandoned. I call you beloved. They called you messy. I call you my masterpiece. They called you overlooked. I call you appointed. And my voice is the final word. My words will write the story. And what I call you is not just comfort, it's truth. You don't belong to their opinions. You belong to me. Even now, I'm stripping off the old names like grave clothes, names that buried your spirit, names that suffocated your joy. You've worn them too long. They never fit you anyway. They were never yours to wear. I'm not asking you to earn a new name. I'm revealing the one I already gave you. A name full of light. A name no human tongue can stain. A name known in the courts of heaven. Child, every time you respond to the wrong names, shame, guilt, failure, you're answering a door I never meant you to open. But now, with my voice like thunder wrapped in tenderness, I call to the truest you. The you beneath the rubble, the you beyond the reputation, the you I created. And I speak to your core with love that cannot be shaken. You are mine. So come back to that name. Let it echo through every memory that tried to rename you. Let it thunder louder than every insult and accusation. Let it sit in your bones like a holy fire. Because no one else gets to label what I created. And what I created is not a mistake. It's not a problem. It's not an afterthought. What I created is you. Fearfully, wonderfully, intentionally. I've named you with the ink of eternity. I've stamped you with the seal of the Spirit. And I'm calling you to remember who you are, not who they said you were. Not who shame says you are, but who I say you are. Chosen, loved, sealed, sent. You are not who they said. You are mine, and that's the name that will outlast them all. The delay you felt, it wasn't denial. It was preparation. I've been arranging the answer, building the bridge, and perfecting the path for what's next. I know it felt like I went silent. I know it looked like it took too long. You asked. You prayed. You knocked. And then nothing. Time passed. Hopes faded. Dreams grew dust. And somewhere in the waiting you began to wonder. Did God change his mind? Did he move on? Did he say no and I just didn't hear it? Oh, beloved, the delay wasn't denial. The silence wasn't rejection. What felt like pause was preparation. I wasn't denying your desire. I was designing something greater than your request. I wasn't ignoring you. I was arranging something that would last. I haven't been absent. I've been active, in places you couldn't see, in dimensions you didn't know needed shifting. Because what's ahead of you isn't small, isn't cheap, isn't fragile. It's weighty. It's eternal. And I refuse to deliver a destiny that hasn't been fully prepared. I don't do half blessings. I don't hand out rushed results. I build with eternal precision. While you were waiting, I was weaving. While you were pleading, I was positioning. I've been building a bridge under your feet that would never collapse under pressure. And part of what took time was protecting you from walking into something too soon. Because too soon can be just as destructive as never. And I love you too much to let you receive the promise prematurely. So yes, it felt like delay. But now I reveal the deeper truth. The delay was my devotion in disguise. I had to clear things out. Had to remove certain voices. Had to close some doors that you begged me to open, because what's on the other side of this next season requires a cleaner space. I wasn't punishing you by postponing things. I was preparing you to steward the very thing I promised. And child, your heart needed to heal before your hands could hold what's next. I wasn't just getting the breakthrough ready for you. I was getting you ready for the breakthrough. And now, the alignment is here. The shift is starting. The atmosphere has begun to move. And this time, when I open the door, you won't walk through it with fear or fatigue. You'll walk through with fire. You'll walk through with clarity. You'll walk through with me. So don't despise the delay. It didn't rob you. It readied you. You didn't miss the moment. You were being molded for it. And now, what was withheld will be released. What was hidden will be highlighted. I haven't forgotten what I spoke over you. My words don't return void. My plans don't evaporate with time. What I started, I will finish. And not only that, but I'll finish it in a way that redeems every second you thought was wasted. Every day you thought was useless. Every tear you thought served no purpose. I collect all of it. I redeem all of it. And I repay pressed down, shaken together, running over. The delay wasn't denial. It was divine design. And the door I'm opening now will understand why it took time. Every tear you shed, every silent sob, every hidden groan, has been collecting in my hands. I'm turning your tears into testimony, your sorrow into song, your grief into glory. Child, I have seen every drop. I have counted every tear. In the quiet of the night, when you thought no one was watching, when your sobs rattled the walls and your spirit shook under the weight of sorrow, I was there. I didn't flinch. I didn't turn away. I leaned in. I caught every tear in my palm, wiped the tracks of pain from your cheek, and kept every whisper of your sorrow safe. That ache you tried to hide behind bravery, I received it. That grief you chased away with forced smiles, I held it. I listened to the cries your lips couldn't form, the cries that came from brokenness, from fear, from hopes bent low. Those tears were not wasted. They were not meaningless. They became currency in heaven's ledger. I saved them. I honored them. And now, I'm preparing to pay out. Because my economy works differently. What the world sees as waste, I see as wealth. What culture calls brokenness, I call beauty. What sorrow labels as shame, I rebrand as salvation soil. And I'm not about to let what you endured go undocumented. Every tear, every hurt, every humble cry, I'm converting them into your comeback narrative. I'm writing a testimony so vibrant that the scars on your palms will become chapters in a book you'll tell many with. A book titled Mercy. A book titled Miracle. A book titled My God Did Not Waste My Pain. The sorrow you have felt beneath the surface, the grief that threatened to swallow you, I'm leveling it. I'm lifting it. I'm launching it into the light so that its power becomes visible, not hidden. Yes, the grief was real. The pain was piercing. The nights were long. But I've not only collected your tears, I've redeemed them. For what human sorrow could not produce, my redemption will. What human consolation could never cover, my compassion will. I am turning mourning into movement, sadness into strength, fear into freedom. The heavens are bending to turn your pain into your praise. The broken soil of your past heartbreak will bloom under my hand. What was dead will be made alive. What was dry will drink deep from my rivers of restoration. And those who once saw nothing in you will see everything God built from you. So when it feels like the storm will never end, lean into the hush. When it feels like you've cried enough to drown, lift your chin and remember, your tears are not trash. They are treasure. Not mistakes to be hidden, but marks of a process being perfected. Not flaws to be fixed, but fire to be refined. I am taking what the enemy meant for destruction and turning it into the foundation of your destiny. Don't throw away your tears. Don't despise your sorrow. Don't bury your pain. Instead, bring them to me. Let me collect them. Let me convert them. Because the same hands that accepted your tears are now shaping your testimony. And the story I will write with your tears will carry a weight no weapon can match. Not shame, not rejection, not regret, but salvation. Stay on the line. Don't hang up. Your tear-wrenched testimony is stepping into triumph. I'm not coming with partial promises. I'm coming with full power. When I arrive, I don't tiptoe, I thunder. Brace yourself. What I do next will make the heavens leak and the earth tremble. Stand firm. Beloved, I'm not offering a light sprinkle of blessing tonight. I'm unleashing a downpour. Not a shower, but a storm. Not a whisper, but a roar. Because what you've been through, the delay, the doubt, the darkness, It demands more than gentle gestures. It demands the full force of my glory. I'm not tiptoeing around your pain. I'm trampling over the territory of despair. I'm not negotiating with yesterday's hurts. I'm annihilating them. When I move, the invisible becomes visible, the buried becomes blooming, the condemned becomes crowned. So brace yourself. You're not just stepping into a better season. You're stepping into a breakthrough that breaks history. The kind of breakthrough people will look at and say, that can only be God. I'm coming for more than recovery. I'm coming for resurrection. Not the slow, hesitant healing that pieces things back together patchwork style, but a rise so radical, so relentless, so reckoned by heaven, that even memory of the pain will fade under the brilliance of what I bring. I'm not bringing always good enough. I'm bringing better than you ever dreamed. I'm not delivering a half-answered prayer. I'm delivering every door I promised long ago, along with new doors your mind hasn't even envisioned. I'm not about slight shifts. I'm about seismic shifts. I don't adjust. I architect. I don't improve. I ignite. I don't fix a little. I fix forever. But know this, such power requires your posture. This thunder doesn't drop on a soul that's still cowering. It rises when a heart stands firm, when a spirit stops shrinking, when a child who once hung up on hope now lifts hands in surrender. Because my presence doesn't perform well with fear. It moves with faith. It dances when you dare to expect more than pity. So prepare, not by polishing your image, not by pretending you're okay, but by positioning your inner room, opening every crevice, every corner, every hidden place to my light. Let me in. Don't barricade the doors with unbelief. Don't lock the windows with cynicism. This upcoming thunder is meant to shatter chains, not silence worship. It's meant to shake off shadow, not shelter you in shells. And child, when I show up, I want to show up in fullness. I want to show up in fire. I want to show up so that every chain you wore becomes a chain of testimony. Every scar becomes a seal. Every memory of pain becomes a monument of my mercy. I want to shatter the glass ceiling above you, the ceilings built by fear, by limitations, by people's narrow opinions. And I want to clear the skies above you so you can stand under the open heavens of your purpose. I want the earth beneath you to shake, the saints around you to tremble, and the nations ahead of you to watch. Because this is not about restoration alone. This is about revelation. Revelation of who I am, who you are, and what we can conquer together. So stand firm, beloved. Not because you're strong, but because my power has chosen to align with your surrender. Not because you deserve vindication, but because my love demands completion. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your heart raw. Keep your spirit ready. The countdown has begun. The atmosphere is shifting. And when I thunder in, hold on. It won't be gentle. It won't be subtle. But it will be sufficient. It will be saving. It will be sovereign. The heavens are opening, the earth is moving, and your season of breakthrough is about to break wide open. Don't hang up. Don't blink. Don't shrink. Because I'm calling you into a glory so great, it will echo in eternity. This is not the encore. This is the new beginning. What you're stepping into now isn't just a blessing. It's a birth. Prepare yourself, for you are being repositioned for purpose. Child, hear me now. What you thought was waiting, what you believed was delay, was not a pause. It was a pregnant hush. And in that hush, heaven was scripting a new chapter, forging a new covenant, painting a new horizon just for you. The door about to open is not a continuation of your former seasons. It is a portal, not a back door to familiar struggles, but a bold entrance into unfamiliar glory. You're not just getting a second chance. You're getting a first in my plan, a first in my design, a first that carries my name. So rise up. Raise up your head, lift your hands, clear the space in your soul for what's coming. Because this moment is not revival of the old. It's the birth of the new. I see the trembling that fades across your limbs when hope flutters again. I hear the cautious hesitation in the corners of your thoughts. What if it fails again? What if I get hurt again? I felt it when I created you. The fragile fear, the tender trust, the fragile yes that shook against shadows of doubt. But I didn't design you for safe routines. I crafted you for sacred revolutions. I stamped you with potential. I sealed you with purpose. And now that the womb of waiting is breaking, you're about to see the power of what you carried in silence for so long. The promise isn't a whisper in the wind. It's a roar on the runway for your destiny to take flight. Don't brace for comfort. Brace for conquest. Don't expect whiskers. Expect wonder. Don't hope for small increments. Expect supernatural leads. Yes, there may be noise. There may be resistance. The shadows you thought behind you may stretch their fingers again, trying to cling to your ankles, trying to pull you back into their prison. But I've re-equipped you. You're not going out as you were. You're going out with my armor, my alignment, my anointing. The same God who carried you through the night, the same God who cradled your tears, is coming with you into the morning. The scars you tried to hide will become your standard. The tremors you feared will become the tremors of transformation. This birth will not be quiet. It will be seismic. And every ground that shakes beneath your feet, let it shake. Let it shake loose the old. Let it shake birth of the new. Let it shake the weight off your spirit. Let it shake destiny away. So stand upright, beloved. Straighten your spine with the memory of my promise. Wipe your face with the courage of my covenant. Open your palms, not in timid invitation, but in bold surrender. Because what's coming is bigger than your fear. What I have for you is greater than your past. What I'm about to birth in your life is not just a healing. It is a heritage. Not just a season, but a saga. Keep listening. Keep leaning. Keep living in the zero gravity of hope. Because this isn't just your next step. It's your launch. Beloved, as you step into this new beginning, know that your seed carries the same power of new beginnings for someone else. When you support this mission, you are helping me deliver messages that break chains, lift burdens, and awaken destinies. This is manna for the multitudes, carried by your generosity. I am the Lord who said, "Give, and it shall be given unto you," and today I speak it directly over your life. Your giving will become your gathering. Your sowing will become your season. This moment is not random. It is a divine appointment, perfectly aligned with the breakthrough I am birthing in you. If your heart is burning to help, that flame is from me. I am calling you to fan it into action. As you pour into this work through Super Thanks membership, with a link I've set before you, I will pour back abundance, favor, and protection you cannot measure. Move with me. Give now, and let your seed prophesy your future. I am not sending you out just to survive. I am sending you out to conquer. You're not walking into blessing. You're marching into breakthrough. Now go. Stand in the fullness of all I've spoken. Beloved, the time has come for me to release you. Not with hesitation, not with half hope, but with the full force of heaven backing what I speak. I am sending you, not because I need you, but because I know you. I know the battles you fought in silence. I know the blood, sweat, and tears you shed when no one applauded. I know the weight you carried. And because of all that, because of you, you are ready. You're not going out with safety nets. You're going out with sovereignty. Not on your own energy, but on my power. Not to follow footsteps, but to forge paths. To go. Go in my name. Go under my banner. Go with my blessing. And walk into what I've reserved you, not for those who deserve it, but for those who dare to believe it. Don't carry fear. Don't carry doubt. Don't carry the what-ifs. Leave them behind like worn-out cloaks. Because I am equipping you with something far stronger than human armor. I'm placing in your hand a divine sword, the sword of my truth, my love, my purpose. And with that sword, you cut through chains, break down walls, scatter strongholds, and claim ground others thought lost. And the ground you take, I will use. The territory you possess, I will anoint. The legacy you launch, I will lead. You're not a wanderer anymore. You're a warrior, not a bystander, but a breaker, a builder, a bearer of my glory. And the work before you, I didn't just prepare it. I planned it. I didn't just speak it. I sealed it. You will face storms. The wind will howl. The waves will roar. The pressure will press. But you will not drown. Not because you are invincible, because I am. My presence in you is fiercer than any fear waiting to swallow you. My promise in you is louder than every doubt screaming you're not enough. Have you forgotten who you are? You are my child. You are my chosen. You are my vessel, and I never send empty-handed. You are not stepping into the unknown alone. I am walking with you. Each step you take, every breath you breathe, I am there. I go before you. I guard behind you. I surround you. And I dwell within you. This is not a sprint. It's a march. A march toward purpose, into power, under my presence. So lift up your eyes. Lift up your voice. Raise your hands in surrender, not to what was but to what will be. Declare, here I am, gone. I'm yours. And then walk. Walk into the fullness. Step into the season. Embrace the assignment. Because this call, this purpose, this destiny is not for the faint-hearted. It's for the faithful. It's for the ones who answered when I whispered. It's for the ones who stayed on the line when the world told them to hang up. And you stayed. And now you're not just surviving. You're rising. You're not just hoping. You're harboring heaven. So go, with my name on your lips, my fire in your bones, my spirit by your side. Go, and make every prophecy I spoke in secret become your public testimony. Go, and let heaven's thunder announce what you carry. Go, beloved. The world has been waiting. And now, you walk forth, not as wounded, but as warrior. Not as broken, but as beloved and blessed. Your worship and waiting has not been wasted. I am turning every whispered sigh, every silent psalm, into the wind beneath your wings. Your waiting worship becomes the soundtrack of your victory. Beloved, I have heard your worship, the quiet worship no one applauded. I have felt every hymn you whispered in the dark, every tear you tethered to a trembling praise, every stretched out hand you raised when there was nothing left but faith. You thought those moments were invisible. You believed they were unnoticed. You told yourself you were just surviving, but what you were doing, child, was worshiping. Even when the walls around you felt like they were closing in, you lifted your voice anyway. Even when hope seemed hollow, you whispered truth anyway. And I heard it all. not as background noise but as a breaking point, not as timid tune but as a trumpet blast. That worship of yours, soft, sacred, scarred, has not been wasted. It has been woven. It hath been waiting, and now it is being repurposed. I am turning your worship into wind, your waiting into wings. Remember every night you knelt when your strength was depleted. Remember every trembling prayer, every tear-stained confession, every moment you whispered, "Lord, I trust you," through cracked lips and a cracked spirit. That trust didn't disappear. That love didn't evaporate. That faith didn't fade. I gathered them all, like seeds pressed into soil by sorrow, watered by your tears, buried by silence. And now I am bringing this soil to life. I am taking every hidden worship, every wounded praise, every weary song, and refusing to let it die in the dust. Instead, I am raising it up, resurrecting it, writing it into the story of your deliverance. The melodies you felt too small to matter, they are now becoming the score of your breakthrough. The ashes of your quiet surrender, they are now becoming the aroma of your glory. Child, the worship you poured out when you had nothing left is the fuel for the victory I'm igniting over your life. I speak this not in whisper but in thunder. Your worship was not supplemental. It was strategic. It was the softest soil where I planted the seeds of your future. And now the harvest comes. The same hands that muffled your sobs, the same nights that silenced your song, they are folding into glory. I am not just rewarding noise or performance. I am rewarding the broken-hearted worship, the kind you dared to give when giving felt like a gamble. I'm rewarding faith when faith felt foolish. I'm rewarding devotion when devotion felt dead. Because I don't measure by the volume of your voice, I measure by the weight of your worship. And yours has been heavy, dew, sacred, steadfast. It has held ground when the earth beneath you shook. It has held love when loss tried to leave you lifeless. And now, beloved, I am lifting you on those wings built from the very worship you offered when you had nothing else. So don't stop it. Don't silence the song. Don't treat worship as a ritual or a routine. Treat it as your weapon. Treat it as your lifeline. Because what you sang in the shadows, I am about to sing over your life in the light. What you worshipped in waiting, I will weave into walls of protection and paths of purpose. Your worry becomes wind for your wings, wind for your walk, wind for your destiny. And you will fly. You will soar. Not because the world finally recognized you, but because heaven did. I heard your worship when you thought I couldn't. I felt it when you thought you couldn't. And I honored it when you thought it was wasted. Let every note you lift now be the soundtrack of what's next. Let every tear-turned praise be the tear-stained trumpet of your triumph. Child, you've worshipped in the wait. Now watch me turn your weight into your wings. The line between your soul and my spirit was never cut. I never hung up. I never muted my voice. I've stayed connected, and I remain, even now, on the line. Because my love is not a call I place. It is a presence I persist in. Listen closely, my child. Your fear whispered that maybe I got distracted. Your doubt whispered that maybe the call dropped. The world tried to tell you that silence equals separation, that distance equals denial. But those lies were born from broken connections, not from me. I don't hang up on my children. I don't leave the line open only when it's convenient. I remain on the line, unbroken, unblinking, unending. I don't send smoke signals when the sky is clear. I send presence. I don't reach out just to make contact. I remain, so that contact becomes constant. So, Even when the night felt too thick to breathe, even when hope felt too hollow to hold, my line stayed open. My heartbeat kept pacing in rhythm with yours. My breath settled beside your own. I didn't exit. I enveloped. I didn't disconnect. I dwell. You felt lost, but presence never left. You felt alone, but I was closer than the breath in your lungs. You felt silent, but my spirit whispered. And even when you couldn't hear me, I didn't stop speaking. I adjusted my language. I shifted my presence. I hovered so tender, so near, that every sigh you released felt like a prayer in my lap. And I kept the signal strong, not by volume but by frequency. You don't need perfect reception to be connected. You just need to remain tuned to my spirit. And I stayed in range. I stayed in real. I remained in your atmosphere, not as a distant deity, but as a friend, as a father, as the God who refuses to obey the laws of disconnection. Because my covenant with you doesn't cut with silence. It calls with continuity. Let me say this plainly. The distance you felt was only in your feeling. The static you sensed was only in your fear. The dropped signal you assumed was only in your doubt. But the line between us, was never dropped. I never stopped dialing. I never disconnected. I never unhooked. Because love like mine is not a call and response transaction. It is an unbroken connection. It is a cord of compassion tied to the throne of eternity. So don't treat silence like absence. Don't treat waiting like withdrawal. Don't treat your dry season like dryness in me. Because I remain. I persist. I abide. And where I abide, faith can live. Hope can rise. Light can land. So stay on the line. Keep the dial open. Keep the cord alive. Don't blame silence for unreachable. Don't cower at waiting. Don't hang up when the connection feels distant. Lean in. Lean into presence. Lean in until you feel me, not in flash or fanfare but in stillness. Because I'm not planning to hang up. I'm planning to hold a conversation. A divine dialogue with your spirit. I'm planning to walk you through what I started at the first breath you prayed. I'm planning to lead you from where you are to what I have. I'm not done. I'm not distant. I'm with you. Out. Always. To ever. The line is open. The signal is strong. The presence is present. And I will keep calling, even when you can't hear me. Even when you don't feel me. Because connection with me isn't built on feelings. It's built on faithful frequency. Stay tuned, beloved. The next word is already on its way. And I'm waiting for your answer. You haven't missed it. You're not late. You're not behind. You are right on time, because I'm the one holding the clock, and I say now is your moment. Child, I know the whisper of regret. I know the sting of comparison. I've watched you look left and right, watched you measure your journey against timelines that were never yours. You've asked yourself more than once, did I miss it? Did I mess up too much? Am I too old, too late, too far behind? And you've let those questions settle like dust on your soul, covering your confidence, dimming your clarity. But hear me, beloved, you are not late. You are not behind. You haven't missed what I've ordained for you. Because I, the Eternal One, the Keeper of Time, the Architect of all destinies, hold your clock. And when I say it's your time, no delay, no detour, no devil can derail what I have decreed. I don't measure your life with the world's rulers. I don't grade your journey by milestones crafted in culture's image. I wrote your story in eternity, not on Instagram. I stamp your timeline in heaven's ink, not human ink. And I've been orchestrating every second behind the scenes, the steps forward, the steps back, even the stillness. What you called wasted years were actually woven years. What you called delay was divine development. I was training your hands in silence, fortifying your faith in hiddenness, preparing your heart in the shadows. Because, child, when the curtain rises on what I'm releasing in your life, everything will make sense. The weight will feel like wisdom. The silence will sound like strategy. The ache will unfold as alignment. Don't let the enemy lie to you. He thrives in time-based torment. He loves whispering, "You should be further by now. You missed your chance. You're too old, too broken, too stuck." But I silence that voice with the truth of heaven. You are right on time. Because I don't rush what I love. And I love you. I'm not panicked about your pace. I'm pleased with your posture. You've stayed soft. You've stayed surrendered. You've stayed, even when it hurt. And that staying, that enduring faith, has positioned you perfectly for what's coming next. My promise didn't expire. Your purpose didn't dissolve. The path may have bent, but it never broke. And you, my precious one, are stepping now into the exact moment I planned for you before the stars ever took their place. So stop apologizing for how long it took. Stop mourning what you think you missed. The blessing hasn't passed you by. The calling hasn't forgotten your name. You're not waiting for your moment anymore. Your moment is waiting for you. I've been holding it in my hand, protecting it, shielding it from premature exposure. And now, I place it before you. I unlock it. I unwrap it. I unleash it. Not because of your perfection, but because of your persistence. Because of your faith in the middle of fog. Because of your surrender in the silence. And I say to you now with all of heaven leaning forward, you haven't missed it. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're right on time. The clock is in my hand, and my hand is on you. This is not the end of our call. This is only the beginning. I'm not just calling you for a moment. I'm calling you into a movement. Stay close. I have more to say, more to show, more to do. This moment isn't closing, child. It's cracking wide open. Don't see this message as a goodbye. It is a gateway. A divine hinge swinging open into something so vast, so personal, so alive. It will redefine what you thought communication with me looked like. This isn't the final note in a prophetic letter. This is the first line of a living conversation. I'm not done speaking. I'm not winding down. I'm winding you up, lifting you, lighting you, launching you into the next stage of our walk. This call was never about information. It was about invitation. And now that you've stayed, now that you've heard, now that you've leaned in, I'm taking you deeper. Further. This call doesn't end. It evolves. Because I don't do momentary. I do eternal. I don't do quick fixes. I do continual fellowship. I'm not a one-time encounter. I'm an ever-breath presence. I've never wanted just your prayers. I've always wanted your partnership. I'm not calling you to a peak. I'm calling you into a pilgrimage. One where every step is sacred, every whisper is worship, every breath is holy ground. You're not just my child. You are my co-laborer. You are my friend. You are my beloved. And there is so much more I have to say. There are still hidden scrolls of revelation I've kept wrapped in silence, waiting for your spirit to awaken. There are blueprints with your name on them. Assignments tailor-made for your hands. Ideas, dreams, strategies that haven't been spoken in any room yet, because I've reserved them for you. So stay close. Stay connected. Keep the line open. Don't treat this moment like an ending. Treat it like a beginning. Let this be the hour where you said yes to a life of ongoing intimacy, not just occasional inspiration. Let this be the day where you stopped visiting my presence and started living in it. Where you didn't just wait for goosebumps in worship, but you became the altar I dwell in. I want to speak to you not just on Sundays, not just in quiet time, but in the drive, in the shower, in the grocery aisle, in your sleep, in your laughter, in your pain. I want all of it. I want you. Not in pieces, in fullness. So here's my final word in this sequence, not a period, but a promise. I am not finished. I have more to say, more to heal, more to unveil. This call, this holy, beautiful call between heaven and your heart, will not be silenced. It will deepen. It will mature. It will multiply. Because I'm not just calling you into conversation. I'm calling you into covenant. And I will hang up. Not ever. So keep listening. Keep leaning. Keep living with ears open and spirit expectant. Because every breath from now on carries the rhythm of heaven, and every step you take will echo with the voice of the God who calls you forever. Child, before this message closes, know this: just as my voice remains on the line for you, your giving keeps my voice reaching others who are desperate not to disconnect from hope. When you sow, you extend the light, the oil, the fire of my word into places your feet may never walk but your faith can. I declared, you are the light of the world, and when you support this ministry, you place that light into trembling hands that need it most. This is not a donation. It is a destiny seed, a covenant action that carries my presence into digital deserts and lonely hearts. If you feel me nudging you, that nudge is my commission, my whisper saying, partner with me so I may reach them too. I will bless what you release, multiply what you entrust to me, and cover what you surrender in faith. Step up now, give boldly, and let your obedience keep the line of glory open for the world. Before you scroll away, I want you to respond, not to me alone, but to what your spirit just felt. If you heard me calling through this message, don't hang up. Drop a comment below right now and declare with faith, I'm staying on the line. I hear you, God. Let all of heaven and every watching shadow know you're still listening. You're still standing. You're still expecting. This is your holy yes, not just a reply, but a reconnection. Don't stay silent when your answer can break open your next miracle. And as you make that confession, let the world fade for a breath. The handoff is happening now, from heaven stirring you to heaven speaking to you. You said you're staying on the line. Now feel how close I already am on the other side of that line. This is where the promise stops sounding like a call from afar and begins sounding like a voice in the room. Lean into the quiet that follows your yes, because I have been waiting to reveal myself there. My child, stop for a moment. Pause right where you are. I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath. You feel that? It is a gentle vibration in your spirit, a subtle nudging in your chest that you have been trying to ignore. You have felt it while you were driving to work, staring blankly at the road ahead. You felt it late last night when the house was finally quiet and the blue light of your phone was the only thing illuminating the dark. That is not just your imagination. That is not just anxiety or the weight of a long week. That is me. I am wringing your heart. I am reaching out to you. I am calling you by name. I am not dialing a random number hoping anyone will pick up. I know exactly who I am calling. I am calling the one who feels overwhelmed by the pressure of tomorrow. I am calling the one who feels invisible in a crowded room. I am calling the one who is reading this right now, wondering if they have messed up too many times to be heard. Yes, I am speaking to you. Do not look around to see if I mean someone else. Do not think I am trying to reach the person who seems to have it all together. I dialed you on purpose. I know your number by heart because I created your heart. I see how you hesitate. I see how you let the call go to voicemail time and time again. You think that if you ignore the ringing, the conviction will go away. You think that if you stay busy enough, loud enough, and distracted enough, you won't have to face the silence where my voice lives. But I am persistent. My love is a relentless pursuit. I keep ringing because I have something to tell you that cannot wait. I keep ringing because I see the storm coming before you do, and I want to guide you to safety. Recall my promise in Jeremiah. I said, "Call to me, and I will answer you and show you great and mighty things, which you do not know." But today, I am flipping that promise. Today, I am calling you. Will you answer? Will you show me your heart? I am not calling to add to your to-do list. I am calling to take the heavy burden off your shoulders. I am calling to give you the rest you have been desperately searching for in all the wrong places. Do not think for a second that this is a wrong number. You often feel unworthy, like an imposter in your own life. You think, surely God wants someone stronger, someone holier, someone who didn't lose their temper this morning or think those dark thoughts last night. But I do not make mistakes. I do not misdial. I am calling you in your mess, in your confusion, and in your weariness. I am calling you because you are mine. I urge you, answer the call now. Do not wait for a better time. You tell yourself you will pray when you fix your life. You say you will listen to me when things calm down at work, or when the kids grow up, or when you feel more spiritual. But that is a lie the enemy whispers to keep you disconnected. The best time to answer is right now, in the middle of the chaos. The urgency is real. Your spirit is dry, and I am the water. Your heart is heavy, and I am the lift. Put down the distractions. Silence the noise of the world that screams for your attention. Tune into the frequency of my love. I am right here. I am closer than the air you breathe. I am waiting for you to simply say, "Hello, Lord. I am here." Do not hang up on me. Do not swipe away this notification. This is the most important conversation you will have today. Open your heart. Unclench your jaw. Let your shoulders drop. I am here. I'm speaking. Listen. I need you to look at the caller ID of your soul right now. I am not a stranger dialing the wrong number. I am not a telemarketer trying to sell you a religion or a set of rules you have to follow to be good enough. I am your Father. I am the one who knit you together in your mother's womb. I am the one offering you a relationship, not a transaction. You treat me sometimes like a distant manager, someone you only talk to when there is a crisis at work or when you need a favor. But I want you to see me for who I really am. I am the dad who wants to hear about your day. I am the father who wants to sit with you in the quiet and tell you that I am proud of you, not for what you do, but for who you are. Think about the things you hide from everyone else. I know them. I know your specifications because I designed you. I know the flaws you try so hard to cover up with filters and forced smiles. I know the potential that is buried under years of doubt and fear. You do not have to introduce yourself to me. I know why you get angry when you are tired. I know why you pull away when you feel hurt. I know the exact number of hairs on your head and the exact number of tears you have cried into your pillow. I am calling you because I know you better than you know yourself, and I still love you. I love you with an everlasting love. I am the shepherd seeking my sheep. When I call, my voice carries safety, not condemnation. You are used to voices that judge you. The voice of your boss, the voice of a critical parent, or the voice of your own inner critic. But my voice is different. My voice is the sound of the gate opening to let you into a safe pasture. I am not calling to scold you for getting lost. I am calling to guide you home. I am calling to rescue you from the pit of anxiety you have fallen into, not to stand at the top and lecture you on how you should have watched your step. Recognize my authority, but know that it is an authority used to protect you. When I speak, the winds and the waves listen. Do you remember the storms in your life that seemed like they would drown you? I was there. I am the absolute authority over your situation. The financial trouble that is keeping you up at night, it has to bow to my name. The sickness that is scaring you, it answers to me. So when I call you, it is the King of Kings reaching out to his child. Will you listen to the one who holds the universe together, or will you listen to your fear? Look back at our history. Remember my faithfulness. I have never failed you. I have never left you alone. Think about that time last year when you didn't know how you were going to make it through the month, and somehow I provided. Think about the time your heart was shattered, and you thought you would never smile again, yet here you are. I have come through for you time and time again. I am the same God today as I was then. I am calling you now to remind you of who I am. I am your provider. I am your healer. I am your peace. Pick up the phone. I am here. I know why you struggle to hear my voice. It is not because I am silent. It is because your world is too loud. You have surrounded yourself with the static of busyness. You wear your exhaustion like a badge of honor, thinking that if you just do more, earn more, and achieve more, you will finally feel complete. But your overfilled schedule is drowning out my still, small voice. You are running from meeting to meeting, chore to chore, scrolling through your phone in every spare second, terrified of a moment of silence. But I am not in the whirlwind. I am in the whisper. I am in the quiet moments you refuse to take. Check the ringtone of your life right now. It is distraction. You let social media, entertainment, and the 24-hour news cycle compete for your spiritual bandwidth. You give hours to a screen, watching other people live their lives, getting angry at strangers on the internet, or worrying about wars and rumors of wars. You fill your mind with so much junk that there is no room left for my truth. You know everything about the latest celebrity scandal, but you have forgotten what I said about you in my word. You need to turn down the volume of the world so you can tune into the frequency of heaven. The volume of your anxiety is deafening. I see you lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, your mind racing with what ifs. You worry about your job security. You worry about your children's future. You worry about your health. These worries scream at you, demanding your attention. They tell you that you are not safe, that you are not enough, that disaster is around the corner. But anxiety is a liar. It silences the peace of my presence. I am calling you to hand over those worries to me, but you have to stop listening to them first. You cannot hear my song of deliverance while you are listening to the noise of fear. There are other voices calling you, too. The enemy attempts to jam the signal with lies and accusations. He tells you that you are a failure. He tells you that I don't care. He tells you that prayer doesn't work. He creates static on the line to keep you from the clear reception of my love. Recognize these voices for what they are: interference. They are spam calls trying to steal your joy. Do not engage with them. Hang up on the lies and wait for my truth. I am inviting you to seek silence. This is a command for your own survival. You need to find a quiet closet. It doesn't have to be a literal closet. It can be your car in the driveway before you go inside. It can be a park bench on your lunch break. It can be the early morning before the house wakes up. You must intentionally filter the frequency. You have to shut the door on the noise. Put the phone away. Turn off the TV. Close your eyes. In that silence, you will find that I have been speaking all along. I have been whispering, I love you. I am with you. You are going to make it. Tune out the world to tune into my spirit. I am waiting in the quiet. Meet me there. I feel your hesitation. I see your hand hovering over the answer button and then pulling away. I know why you are afraid to pick up. You have a fear of conviction. You worry that if you answer, I am going to point out your sin. You think I am calling to list all the ways you have failed me this week. The harsh words you spoke to your spouse, the jealous thought you had toward your friend, the secret habit you can't seem to break. But my child, hear me clearly. I am not calling to rub your face in your dirt. I'm calling to wash it away. I'm calling to say, I know, and I forgive you. Let's start over. My conviction is not to shame you. It is to heal you. You hang up because you are afraid of the assignment. You fear what I might ask you to do. You think, if I really listen to God, He might ask me to change jobs, or forgive that person who hurt me, or give away money I want to keep. You are scared that my will is going to be hard or uncomfortable. But I promise you, my plans are to prosper you, not to harm you. Yes, I might ask you to grow, but I will never send you where my grace cannot keep you. Do not let the fear of the unknown stop you from the blessing of obedience. I am calling you to a life of purpose, not a life of punishment. I see your fear of intimacy. Being truly known is scary. You have spent your whole life wearing masks, trying to be what everyone else wants you to be. You are afraid that if I see the real you, the broken, messy, insecure you, I will reject you. But I already see you. I see the parts of you that you hide from the world, and I love you anyway. I love you when you are strong, and I love you when you are weak. You don't have to pretend with me. I am the one safe place where you can be completely yourself. You suffer from imposter syndrome in your spiritual life. You feel too broken or unworthy to speak to the King of Kings. You think, look at me. I'm a mess. Why would God want to talk to me? You compare yourself to others who seem so holy and put together. But I am not looking for perfection. I am looking for a humble heart. I choose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. Your brokenness does not disqualify you. It makes you the perfect candidate for my grace. I know you have past disappointments. You are afraid to trust the line because you felt unanswered before. You prayed for something, and it didn't happen the way you wanted. You cried out, and you felt like the sky was brass. I understand your pain. But do not let yesterday's confusion steal today's connection. Just because you didn't understand my answer then doesn't mean I wasn't working. I am commanding you to fear not. I have spoken this in my word 365 times, once for every day you are afraid to answer. Today, fear not. Pick up the phone. I am gentle, and I am humble in heart. You have nothing to fear from me. When you don't answer, I listen to your silence. Even when you ignore me, I am painfully aware of your heart's condition. I see the stress building up in your shoulders. I see the light fading from your eyes. I see you trying to carry the weight of the world all by yourself. Sending me to voicemail doesn't make me go away. It just leaves you alone with your burdens. I am standing right there, watching you struggle, waiting for you to simply acknowledge that I am in the room. I am not angry. I am grieving because I have the solution in my hands, but you won't stop long enough to take it. Think about the backlog of blessings sitting in your inbox. I have guidance for that decision you are agonizing over. I have peace for that panic attack you had yesterday. I have comfort for that lonely night. It is all there, sitting in your spiritual voicemail, an access because you are avoiding the call. You are living beneath your privileges. You are starving spiritually while a feast is waiting for you at my table. Why do you choose to struggle when I have offered you help? Open the messages. Listen to what I have been trying to tell you. The emptiness of avoidance is real. Running from my call only leads to a dry and weary land. You have tried to fill that void with other things: food, shopping, relationships, work, but nothing fits. You feel hollow inside, don't you? That hole in your heart is shaped like my presence. The longer you run, the thirstier you get. Come back to the source. Come back to the living water. I am the only one who can satisfy your soul. Stop trying to drink from broken cisterns that hold no water. Remember Job? He tried to hang up. He tried to run away from my call. He thought he could outrun my coverage area by getting on a boat. But you cannot go where I am not. I am in the heights of heaven, and I am in the depths of the sea. Running only leads to storms. It leads to the belly of the whale, dark, lonely, and suffocating. Do not wait until you hit rock bottom to answer me. Do not wait until the storm forces you to your knees. You can turn around right now. You can answer right now. I am the waiting Father. Like the father in the story of the prodigal son, I am watching the road for your return. I am not standing on the porch with a belt in my hand. I am standing there with a ring and a robe. I am ready to throw a party because you came home. My patience has a purpose. I wait because I am merciful, not because I am indifferent. I am giving you space to realize that you need me. But do not test my patience forever. The sun is going down. It is time to come home. Check your voicemail. Listen to my love. I am still here. I am still waiting. Do not hang up now. To walk away when I am pouring out my heart is to grieve the spirit that sustains you. Do not let the distraction of the world sever this lifeline. Stay with me, for the next words I speak are the very keys to your freedom. To leave now is to choose the silence of the void over the comfort of my voice. When you finally answer, the first thing you will feel is immediate peace. It is the supernatural exhale of the soul. You know that feeling when you have been holding your breath underwater, and you finally break the surface. That is what connecting with me feels like. The tightness in your chest loosens. The racing thoughts slow down. You realize I am not alone. God is here. I give you peace that passes all understanding. It doesn't mean your problems instantly vanish, but it means you are no longer facing them by yourself. If I must correct you, I do it with compassion. Yes, there may be things we need to talk about. There may be habits you need to drop or apologies you need to make. But my correction is like a shepherd's staff. It is used to pull you back from the edge of the cliff, not to beat you. I correct you because I love you. I want the best for you. I want to remove the things that are hurting you. 'Cause my guidance is always for your good, never for your harm. In this connection, I bring a restoration of identity. The world has called you many names: failure, disappointment, weak, ugly, not enough. But when you talk to me, I remind you of who you really are. I call you beloved. I call you chosen. I call you child of the Most High. I remind you of whose you are. You belong to the Creator of the stars. You have royal blood flowing through your spiritual veins. I put a crown on your head and remind you to walk with your head held high. This conversation is an exchange of burdens. You give me your heavy yoke, the worry, the guilt, the stress, the pressure to perform. And in exchange, I give you my yoke, which is easy and light. I take the weight of the world off your shoulders. I carry the heavy end of the load. You were never meant to carry all that baggage. Drop it at my feet right now. Let me take it. Feel the relief of being unburdened. I provide clarity and confusion. I know there are decisions keeping you awake at night. Should I take that job? Should I move? What do I do about my child? When you connect with me, I give you wisdom. I am the wonderful counselor. I will light your path. I might not show you the whole map, but I will show you the next step. And right now, that is all you need. Finally, you receive an infusion of strength. My joy becomes your strength the moment we connect. You think you are too tired to go on. You think you are running on empty. Plug into me. I am the power source. I will renew your strength like the eagles. You will run and not grow weary. You will walk and not faint. Answer the call. The power you need is one hello way. Big up. I am here. We need to talk about the static on the line. You know what I am talking about. It is the crackly interference that makes my voice sound distant or distorted. You often wonder why you cannot hear me clearly, why it feels like there is a wall between us. It is not because I have moved away. It is not because the signal from heaven has grown weak. The interference is coming from your end. It is sin. I do not say this to shame you or to make you hang up in guilt. I say this because I want the connection to be crystal clear again. Sin acts like static. It breaks the clarity of our communion. It starts small. A white lie here. A moment of unchecked anger there. A habit you keep hidden in the dark, thinking it doesn't hurt anyone. But these things accumulate. They create a noise that drowns out the gentle whisper of my spirit. You find yourself asking, God, where are you? While holding on to the very things that push me away. You cannot hold hands with the world and expect to have a firm grip on mine. You cannot fill your ears with the gossip and filth of the culture and expect to hear the holy frequency of heaven. The danger of this interference is the dropped call. When you harbor hidden rebellion, the connection fades intermittently. You get bits and pieces of my guidance, but you miss the full picture. You walk into situations unprepared because you didn't hear the warning. You miss out on the peace I sent because your heart was too cluttered to receive it. Do not let your pride keep you disconnected. Do not let a momentary pleasure cost you your spiritual resection. The price is too high. But listen to me closely. Clearing this static is easier than you think. You do not need a technician. You do not need to perform 100 good deeds to earn back the signal. You just need the clear reception of repentance. Confession clears the line instantly. The moment you say, Lord, I messed up. I am sorry. The static vanishes. I am faithful and just to forgive you. I do not hold a grudge. I do not bring up your past to use it against you. I wash it away. You hesitate because you think you need to clean up before you call. You think, I need to fix this mess, stop this habit, and get my act together, and then I can talk to God. My child, that is backward. You do not wash yourself before you get into the shower. You get into the shower to get clean. I am the cleansing water. Come to me with your dirt. Come to me with your struggle. I am not afraid of your mess. I am the only one who can fix it. Pray the prayer of David. Ask me to create in me a clear heart. That is the ultimate signal booster. When your heart is clean, the connection is immediate. You will hear me in the morning breeze. You will hear me in the laughter of your children. You will hear me in the quiet of your commute. The barrier will be gone. Remember the technology that makes this communication possible, the blood of the Lamb. It was my sacrifice that opened this line for you. Do not take it for granted. Do not let sin block what I died to give you. I want to talk to you. I want to guide you. I want to love you without obstruction. Clear the line. Confess. Repent. And let us talk freely again. I want you to look at the terms of the plan you are on. You live your life as if you are on a restricted budget, terrified of running out of grace. You count your mistakes, tallying them up, thinking, surely I have used up my allotment for the month. God must be tired of me by now. You act as if you are roaming in a foreign land where the charges are piling up, and you are afraid the bill will come due, and you will be bankrupt. But you have misunderstood the contract. My grace is not a limited resource. It is an ocean. There are no roaming charges with me. My grace applies wherever you are, no matter how far you have drifted. Have you wandered into the territory of doubt? My grace is there. Have you crossed the border into despair or rebellion? My grace is there too. You cannot go so far that my love cannot afford to bring you back. You are never out of network. I am everywhere, and my mercy covers every coordinate on the map of your life. I offer you unlimited minutes. You can talk to me all day and all night, and I will never check the clock. I will never say, you are talking too much, or I have other people to attend to. I never tire of your voice. I love the sound of it when you wake up, and I love the sound of it when you are drifting off to sleep. You do not have to ration your prayers. You do not have to save your crises for big moments. Talk to me about the small things, the lost keys, the frustrating email, the traffic jam. I want to be involved in every minute of your day. The cost of this communication has already been paid in full. You often try to pay for it yourself. You try to earn my ear with your good behavior, your church attendance, or your acts of service. But you cannot buy what has already been bought. The cost was high. It cost me everything on the cross, but for you, it is free. It is a gift. Stop trying to pay a bill that reads $0.00. Stop acting like a debtor when I have made you an heir. Live in the freedom of the paid price. This plan comes with high-speed mercy. My mercies are new every morning. That means every time the sun rises, your data resets. You get a fresh start. Yesterday's failures do not carry over. Yesterday's guilt is deleted. You wake up with a full tank of grace, ready to face the day. Do not drag yesterday's old files into today's new morning. Accept the refresh. Accept the renewal. There is no cancellation fee because I have made a covenant with you that I will not break. I am not looking for a loophole to get out of this relationship. I am committed to you for the long haul, for eternity. Even when you are faithless, I remain faithful, for I cannot deny myself. I signed this contract in blood, and I do not go back on my word. Access has been granted. Do you realize what this means? The veil was torn. You have direct access to the throne room of the Creator of the universe. You do not need an appointment. You do not need a secretary to put you through. You can walk right in. You can call right now. So use the plan. Live in the abundance of my grace. Stop living like a spiritual pauper when you have the resources of heaven at your fingertips. We need to address the setting you have toggled on in your heart. You know the one, the do not disturb mode. It is dangerous. It happens when you ignore the ringing for so long that you no longer hear it. It is the calloused heart. A callus forms to protect the skin from friction, but a calloused heart protects you from feeling my conviction. You have built walls to keep out pain, but those same walls are keeping out my voice. You have become numb, and numbness is the enemy of intimacy. You are selectively screening my calls. You look at the notification to see what I want before you decide to answer. If I am calling to bless you, to give you a breakthrough, or to comfort you, you pick up immediately. But if I am calling to ask for obedience, to ask you to forgive that person who hurt you, or to give up that relationship that is toxic, you swipe ignore. You want the benefits of my fatherhood without the submission of being a child. But you cannot have it both ways. I'm Lord of all, or I'm not Lord of all. This blockage comes from pride. You think you know better. You think your plan for your life is safer, smarter, or more fun than mine. You think you can navigate the minefield of this world with your own map. But I designed the universe. I know where the hidden traps are. I know what lies around the corner. Ignoring my guidance isn't independence. It is foolishness. It is walking blindfolded into traffic because you refuse to hold the hand of the guide. Often, trials are what I use to break this mode. When you won't listen to the whisper, sometimes you have to feel the earthquake. I allow the shaking not to harm you, but to shatter the do not disturb setting on your heart. I allow the situation to get beyond your control so that you remember you need me. I break the shell so the seed can grow. Do not despise the breaking. It is the opening of your heart to my light. Hear my warning. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. Delay is a hardening agent. Every time you say later to me, your heart gets a little harder. Every time you push down the conviction, the layer of callus gets a little thicker. Do not wait until you cannot feel anything at all. That is a dangerous place to be. I am inviting you to soften. Let my love melt the stone within you. It is okay to be vulnerable with me. It is okay to admit you were wrong. It is okay to lay down your defenses. I am not attacking you. I am loving you. I want to give you a heart of flesh, a heart that beats in rhythm with mine. Turn off the do not disturb. Let me disturb your comfortable routine with my glorious purpose. Let me disturb your apathy with my passion. Let me in. I am your spiritual 9-1-1. I need you to know this deep in your bones. I am a very present help in times of trouble. When your world collapses, when the phone rings with bad news, when the accident happens, when the diagnosis comes, I am the first call you should make. Do not call your panic first. Do not call your fear first. Call me. I am the only one who can actually alter the situation. I am the only one with the power to intervene in the chaos. There are no hold times with me. You will never get a busy signal. You will never hear all operators are currently assisting other customers. I hear your cry the instant it leaves your heart. I am listening before the sound even reaches your lips. I am hypersensitive to the distress of my children. When you hurt, I feel it. When you are in danger, I am already moving. You do not have to wait in a queue for a miracle. Sometimes, the emergency is so great you have no words. That is the SOS of the soul. All you can manage is a breathy, desperate Jesus. And let me tell you, I understand that entire message. I understand the history behind it, the pain fueling it, and the desperate hope within it. That one name is a complete prayer. It grants you immediate access to all my power. Do not worry about eloquence in an emergency. Just cry out. Remember Peter. He stepped out of the boat, and when he saw the wind and the waves, he began to sink. He didn't recite a long psalm. He didn't make a theological argument. He screamed, "Lord, save me." And immediately, not 5 minutes later, not after a lecture, immediately, I reached out my hand and caught him. I am the God of the immediate rescue. I am the God who catches you when you are going under. I am the calm in the storm. My voice silences the chaos around you. When panic is screaming in your ear, my voice whispers, "Peace, be still." And the internal storm has to obey. I can give you a clarity and a calmness in the middle of a crisis that defies logic. People will look at you and wonder how you are standing. You will tell them, "It is not me. It is the God who holds me." I specialize in disaster recovery. Maybe the emergency has already happened. Maybe you are standing in the wreckage of a life you thought was secure. I am the God who rebuilds. I restore what the enemy has stolen. I bring beauty from ashes. I turn the valley of trouble into a door of hope. Do not look at the ruin and think it is the end. With me, it is just a construction site for something new. Call on me. I am ready to save. Buzz. Do not disconnect. I am in the midst of a rescue operation for your soul, and to leave now is to choose the storm over my shelter. Do not break my heart by returning to the chaos I just pulled you from. Listen closely, for the deeper healing begins right now, and you cannot afford to miss it. My child, just as I answer your emergency cries without delay, there are millions still trapped in the silence of despair, waiting for a signal of hope. I am calling you to be the tower that broadcasts my rescue to the lost. Do not let their calls go unanswered. By sowing into this ministry through a super thanks, joining as a member, or giving via PayPal, you provide the spiritual bandwidth to reach those in crisis before it is too late. Give, and it will be given to you. I declare, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, for I honor those who honor my mission. This is not just a donation. It is a lifeline thrown into the dark waters to pull a drowning soul into my marvelous light. Do not hesitate when the Spirit moves you. Click the link in the description now to partner with heaven, and watch how I multiply your seed into a harvest of rescued lives. We need to talk about the night. I know about your insomnia. I know about those hours between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. when the world is silent, but your mind is screaming. You lie there, staring into the dark, replaying every mistake, worrying about every bill, fearing every possible future scenario. You count sheep, you scroll through your phone, you toss and turn. But I want you to replace counting sheep with talking to the shepherd. I'm awake. I'm watching over you. I am available for the questions you are afraid to ask in the daylight. Remember Nicodemus. He came to me at night. He had questions he couldn't ask when the crowds were watching. He had doubts he needed to voice in the safety of the shadows. I did not turn him away. I met him there. I will meet you there, too. The night is a sanctuary for honesty. When the distractions of the day fade, we can get down to the real issues. Bring your doubts to me. Bring your fears to me. I am not intimidated by them. These are the watches of the night. While the world sleeps, I am guarding you. You do not have to stay awake to keep your world spinning. I am holding it all together. You can rest. You can close your eyes and trust that I am working the night shift. Give me the burden you are clutching so tightly under the covers. Release it into my hands. Sleep is a gift I give to those I love. Take it. I speak in dreams and visions. Sometimes, when your conscious mind finally rests, I can speak to your spirit. I can bypass your defenses and your logic and plant seeds of hope and direction in your dreams. Do not despise the night. It is often when I do my best surgical work on your heart, healing you while you rest. The intimacy of solitude is a gift. You are afraid of the dark, of being alone with your thoughts. But darkness is not dark to me. It is a canvas for my light. In that solitude, you can hear me clearly. You can feel my presence wrapping around you like a warm blanket. You are never less alone than when you are awake with me in the dark. Let the silence be a comfort, not a terror. And always remember the promise of morning joy. The weeping may endure for a night, and I know the night feels long, but joy comes with the morning call. The sun will rise. The shadows will flee. The perspective will shift. You will make it through this night because I am holding your hand in the dark. Talk to me until you fall asleep. I will be here when you wake up. I love you, my child. Now rest. I am calling you into a family, not just a private conversation. You often try to live this life of faith as a solo subscriber, convinced that it is just me and Jesus against the world. You retreat into your cave when things get hard, thinking you are protecting yourself. But you are actually cutting yourself off from the life support system I designed for you. You were not created to carry the signal alone. You were created for connection, vertical with me, and horizontal with others. I command you to stop isolating yourself. You pull away because you have been hurt by church people before. You have seen hypocrisy. You have felt judged. I know that pain. I saw the religious leaders of my day, and I know how sharp their tongues can be. But do not let the failure of people keep you from the blessing of the body. You cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you. You need the other parts of the body to function. You need the encouragement, the correction, and the shared strength that only comes from gathering together. Weeping with those who weep and rejoicing with those who rejoice is how you survive the signal interference of life. When your signal is weak, when your faith is flickering like a dying candle, you need someone else to stand beside you and hold up the light. You need someone to say, I believe for you when you cannot believe for yourself. That is the power of the group chat. That is the power of the assembly. When you gather, even if it is just 2 or 3 of you, I am there in the midst of you in a special, powerful way. I command a blessing there. I invite you to share the burden. You are walking around with a backpack full of rocks, worries about your marriage, stress about your finances, fears about your health. You stumble under the weight, trying to look strong. But I designed the church to be a place where you dump those rocks out and let others help you carry the load. Confess your faults to one another. Pray for one another so that you may be healed. There is healing in the exposure. There is freedom in the vulnerability. Godly counsel helps you verify the signal. Sometimes you think you hear my voice, but it is actually your own desire or fear talking. You need mature believers around you to help you test the spirit. You need someone who loves you enough to tell you the truth when you are heading toward a cliff. Do not despise correction. Do not run from accountability. Surround yourself with those who build you up, who respect your space but also challenge you to grow. Encourage one another daily. The world is relentless in tearing you down. It screams at you that you are not enough. You need the counter-narrative of the saints. You need to hear, keep going. You are doing great. God is faithful. You need to be that voice for someone else, too. You had a role to play in this group. You are not just a consumer. You are a contributor. Your testimony, your song, your prayer might be the very thing that keeps someone else on the line. I urge you to find your people. It might be awkward at first. It might require you to step out of your comfort zone. But do not forsake the gathering. Do not disconnect from the family plan. You are a coal in a fire. As long as you stay in the pile, you burn hot and bright. But if you roll away, you will grow cold. Stay in the fire. Stay in the family. Stay connected. I have already sent you the transcript of my heart. You spend so much time begging for a sign, asking for an audible voice, pleading for me to show you the way. You cry out, Lord, speak to me, while your Bible sits on the nightstand, gathering dust. I have already spoken. I have written you a love letter thousands of pages long. I have given you a roadmap for every twist and turn of your life. If you want to hear my voice, open my word. I command you to read the instructions. You wouldn't try to build a complex machine without looking at the manual, yet you try to build your life without consulting the architect. My word is a lamp under your feet and a light under your path. It doesn't just show you the destination. It shows you where to place your foot next so you don't trip in the dark. It is the filter through which you must run every other voice. If a thought in your head contradicts what is written in this book, it is a scam call. Hang up immediately. You must treat Scripture as your daily bread, not an occasional snack. You cannot survive on a sermon you heard on Sunday for the rest of the week. You will starve spiritually. You need to eat every day. You need to ingest my promises until they become part of your cellular structure. My words are spirit, and they are life. They are sweeter than honey and more necessary than your morning coffee. When you read, you are tuning your spiritual ears to my frequency. You are learning the cadence of my voice so that when I whisper to your spirit, you recognize it instantly. I invite you to verify everything. The world is full of fake news about who I am. People say I am angry, we're distant, or that I don't care about your suffering. The enemy lies to you about your identity. The only way to combat these lies is with the truth. My word is sharper than any two-edged sword. It cuts through the confusion. It separates the soul from the spirit. It judges the thoughts and attitudes of the heart. When you are armed with a word, you are dangerous to the enemy. He cannot trick a child who knows their father's handwriting. Digesting the message is different from just reading the notification. Do not just skim a verse of the day and think you have done your duty. Meditate on it. Chew on it. Ask me, Father, what are you saying to me in this? How does this apply to my situation with my boss? How does this change the way I treat my spouse? Let the word dwell in you richly. Let it transform your mind. I declare that my word never returns void. It always accomplishes what I send it to do. If you plant it in your heart, it will grow. It will bear fruit. It will change you from the inside out. Do not be intimidated by. Start where you are. Read the Psalms when you are sad. Read the Gospels when you want to see my face in Jesus. Read Proverbs when you need wisdom. Just open the book. I am waiting to speak to you from every page. I did not leave you to figure this out alone. I sent you the ultimate helper, the Holy Spirit. You often feel like you are trying to run a high-tech life on an outdated operating system, constantly crashing, buffering, and running out of memory. You feel weak, confused, and powerless. But I have installed my very own Spirit inside of you. He is your internal tech support, available 24/7, ready to guide you into all truth. I want you to lean on the Helper. He is not a weird, mystical force. He is a person. He is God within you. He acts as your internal compass. When you are standing at a crossroads, unsure of which way to turn, He is the gentle nudge in your gut. He is the peace that settles on the right decision. He is the check in your spirit that warns you against the wrong one. You must learn to trust that internal guidance. It is my voice echoing in the chambers of your soul. The Spirit intercedes for you when you have poor connection. There are moments when you are so broken, so grief-stricken, or so overwhelmed that you cannot form words. You kneel to pray, and nothing comes out but tears. Do not worry. The Spirit steps in. He intercedes for you with groanings too deep for words. He takes the raw, unedited data of your heart and translates it into a perfect prayer before the throne. He knows exactly what you need even when you don't. I assure you of your connection through Him. The Spirit bears witness with your spirit that you are my child. When the enemy tries to tell you that you are an orphan, that you have lost your salvation, or that I have abandoned you, the Spirit rises up within you to testify to the truth. He reminds you of your adoption. He cries out, Abba, Father, from within your heart. He is the seal of my ownership on your life. I command you to plug into the power source. You shall receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you. This is not a power to be arrogant. It is the power to be a witness. It is the power to overcome sin. It is the power to love the unlovable and forgive the unforgivable. It is the power to stand firm when the world is shaking. You are trying to live a supernatural life with natural energy, and that is why you are exhausted. Stop striving and start yielding. Let the Spirit fill you. Let Him empower you. Do not grieve the Spirit. Do not ignore His prompts. When He says stop, stop. When He says go, go. When He says speak, speak. Every time you override His guidance, you dull your sensitivity. You risk disconnecting the very power that sustains your line to heaven. Keep the relationship clean. Keep the channel open. Invite Him into your morning. Ask Him to lead your meetings, your parenting, and your decisions. He is eager to help. He is waiting for you to ask. I want to change the way you view this call. You treat prayer like a formal presentation or a panic 9-1-1 call, but I want a dialogue. You come to me with a prepared speech, using fancy words you think sound holy. You recite a grocery list of needs. Bless this, fix that, give me this, and then you hang up before I can get a word in. That is a monologue, not a relationship. I want to talk with you, not just we talked. I want to hear your heart, and I want you to hear mine. I command you to be honest. I cannot heal what you do not reveal. You try to hide your anger, your doubt, and your disappointment from me, as if I don't already know. You put on your Sunday best voice while your heart is breaking. Stop it. Be real. Tell me you are mad. Tell me you are hurt. Tell me you don't understand why I allowed that thing to happen. Look at the Psalms. David yelled, cried, and complained, and I called him a man after my own heart. Why? Because he was honest. I can handle your raw emotions. I cherish your sincerity. Persistence pays off on this line. Do not give up just because you didn't get an answer on the first ring. Remember the parable of the persistent widow. She kept knocking. She kept asking. She refused to take no for an answer from the unjust judge. How much more will I, your loving Father, answer you? Keep knocking. Keep seeking. Keep asking. Sometimes the delay is not a denial. It is a test of your desire. It is building spiritual muscle. It is preparing you to handle the weight of the answer. Pray in my name. This is your access code. It is not a magic spell you tack onto the end of a sentence. It means you are coming in the authority of the Son. It means you are aligning your request with my character and my will. When you ask in Jesus' name, you are presenting the credit card of heaven, which has no limit. You are standing in the gap, clothed in His righteousness, not your own. I invite you to the posture of humility. Come boldly to the throne. Yes, you are a child of the King, but bow your heart in reverence. Remember who you are talking to. I am the creator of the galaxies. I am the Ancient of Days. I am the Alpha and Omega. A little love goes a long way. Humility opens the floodgates of grace. Pride shuts them tight. Enter my gates with thanksgiving. This connects you faster than complaints. When you start your call with gratitude, you shift your perspective. You remind yourself of what I have already done, which builds your faith for what I am about to do. Thank me for the breath in your lungs. Thank me for the roof over your head. Thank me for the battles I've fought that you didn't even know about. Gratitude clears the static. It tunes your heart to the frequency of joy. Start talking. I am listening. Do not silence my voice. To step out of my presence now, after coming this far, is to turn your back on the glory I desire to show you. It deeply grieves me when my children seek my hands but refuse to look at my face. Stay, for I am about to reveal the specific assignment you were born for. I am calling you to something, not just away from something. You often think salvation is just a fire insurance policy, a ticket to heaven so you don't go to hell. But I saved you for a purpose. I left you on this earth for a reason. You are on active duty. You are not a civilian. You are a soldier. You are an ambassador. You have a mission that only you can fulfill. I have prepared good work specifically for you to walk in. I command you to accept your assignment. You are looking around for someone more qualified, someone more eloquent, someone with a theology degree. But I do not call the qualified, I qualify the called. I chose Moses, a murderer with a stutter, to lead my people. I chose David, a shepherd boy, to be king. I chose Peter, a hot-headed fisherman, to build my church. I am choosing you. Your past does not disqualify you. Your availability is what matters. I need your yes. Answer like Isaiah. Here I am, send me. Stop making excuses. Stop saying you are too young, too old, too busy, or too broken. I know your frame. I know your limitations. But my strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you step out in faith, I step in with power. You are not going in your own name. You are going in mine. The harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Look around you. The world is hurting. People are lonely, confused, and dying without hope. They are ripe for the harvest, but there is no one to gather them. I am calling you to the field. It might be your workplace. It might be your neighborhood. It might be your own kitchen table. You are the light of the world. Do not hide your light under a basket. Shine. Speak. Love. Your unique assignment is waiting. No one else can reach the people you can reach. No one else has your story, your personality, your sphere of influence. If you don't answer the call, who will? Do not let your fear rob someone else of their breakthrough. You are a vessel of my love. I want to pour through you. I want to use your hands to heal, your words to encourage, and your resources to bless. I declare that you are capable. You have the Holy Spirit. You have the Word. You have the name of Jesus. You have everything you need to accomplish the mission. Do not settle for a small, safe life. I have called you to a great adventure. I have called you to shake the gates of hell and set the captives free. The phone is ringing. The mission briefing is ready. Will you accept the call? Step into your destiny. The world is waiting for the real you to show up. I need you to be vigilant because not every voice that whispers in your ear is mine. You live in a world filled with spiritual noise, and there is a very real spam risk on the line of your life. The enemy, the thief who comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, knows how to spoof my number. He disguises himself as an angel of light to intercept the call. He knows the religious words you use. He knows your insecurities. He knows exactly what you want to hear, and he knows exactly what you fear hearing. He will try to sell you a counterfeit peace that falls apart the moment the storm hits. You must learn to screen the calls. Beware the voice of condemnation. This is the most common spam call you receive. It tells you that you are worthless, that you have messed up too many times, and that there is no hope for you. It replays your past sins on a loop in high definition. If the voice brings shame without hope, hang up immediately. That is not me. When I convict you, I offer a hand up, not a boot to the neck. My conviction leads to repentance and restoration. The enemy's condemnation leads to despair and hiding. If you feel the urge to run from me rather than to me, you are listening to a stranger. You must also recognize the voice of compromise. This one is subtler. He sounds reasonable. It tells you, just this once won't hurt, or everyone else is doing it, or God understands. He wants you to be happy, right? It suggests that my holiness is outdated and that my commands are merely suggestions. It is a trap. It lures you onto a path that looks like a shortcut but ends off a cliff. Do not be deceived. I do not change. My standards do not shift with the culture. If a voice encourages you to flirt with sin, to hold on to a grudge, or to cut an ethical corner, block that number. I command you to test the spirits. Do not believe every thought that drops into your head. Just because it is loud doesn't mean it is lore. Test it against my nature. Does this thought align with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness? Does it line up with the scripture I have given you? If a prophecy or a feeling contradicts my written word, it is a lie. I am not a God of confusion. I am the truth. Remember, my sheep know the shepherd. Intimacy is your best defense against deception. When you spend time with me, you learn the cadence of my voice. You learn the texture of my love. The bank teller is trained to spot counterfeit bills not by studying the fakes, but by handling the real currency so much that the fake feels wrong instantly. Handle my truth daily. Immerse yourself in my presence. Then, when the stranger calls, you will say, "That doesn't sound like my father." Guard your ear gate. Be careful what worldly advice you allow to influence your spirit. You cannot binge-watch darkness, listen to toxic music, and surround yourself with cynical friends, and then expect to hear me clearly. What you let in will eventually come out. Protect your heart with all diligence. Curate your influences. Silence the voices that do not speak life. I am speaking truth to you right now. Tune in to me. I know you hate waiting. I see you pacing the floor, checking the calendar, wondering why the breakthrough hasn't arrived yet. You feel like you have been put on hold, listening to the same elevator music of routine day after day, wondering if I have forgotten you on the other line. You cry out, "How long, Lord?" I hear the frustration in your voice. But I need you to understand this. Waiting is not a denial, it is preparation. The patience of faith is a muscle, and right now, we are in the gym. I am not delaying because I am cruel or disorganized. I am delaying because you are not ready for what you are asking for, or what you are asking for is not ready for you. Trust the process. I am working all things together for good, even while you wait. I am aligning circumstances you cannot see. I am softening hearts you cannot reach. I am building a foundation in you that can support the weight of the glory I am about to release. If I gave it to you now, it might crush you. I call you to active waiting. You not just sit there idly, tapping your foot. Worship while you wait. Serve while you hold the line. Prepare for the answer. If you are praying for rain, go out and dig the ditches. If you are praying for a spouse, become the person you want to marry. If you are praying for a promotion, work with excellence where you are. Waiting is not passive. It is an act of high treason against despair. It is declaring, I trust God enough to keep moving even when I don't see the destination. My timing is perfect. I am never late, and I am never early. I arrive precisely when I intend to. Look at Lazarus. His sisters thought I was 4 days late. They thought hope was dead and buried. But I was right on time to display a glory greater than healing. I brought resurrection. Your situation might look dead to you. It might smell like it's over. But I am the God of the 11th hour. I am the God of the sudden turnaround. There is strength in the way. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. In this season of holding, I am rewiring your dependence. I am teaching you that I am enough, even without the blessing. I am deepening your roots so that when the harvest comes, you won't topple over. Do not despise the waiting room. It is the classroom of the Holy Spirit. Avoid the hang-up of impatience. Do not take matters into your own hands. Remember Abraham. He got tired of waiting for the promised son, so he tried to force the blessing with Hagar. He birthed an Ishmael, and it caused complications and heartache for generations. Do not birth an Ishmael because you couldn't wait for Isaac. Do not manufacture a solution that I did not ordain. Put the phone down. Stop trying to call the shots. Trust my timing. I wrote the schedule, and I know exactly what time it is in your life. You are not the only one on this plan. I am calling you to look beyond your own needs and tap into the family plan of intercession. You spend so much time praying for your own bills, your own aches, and your own dreams. That is fine, but I want to expand your coverage. I am calling you to stand in the gap for those who cannot or will not call me themselves. There are people in your life, your children, your spouse, your neighbors, who have blocked my number. They need you to be the bridge. I hear the power of a parent's prayer. I see you, mothers and fathers, crying out for your prodigals in the night. You feel helpless watching them make mistakes, watching them drift toward the cliff. But you are not helpless. You have a direct line to the King. When you pray for your children, you are inviting my influence into their lives. You are placing a spiritual hedge of protection around them that the enemy cannot easily cross. Do not stop praying. Your prayers are like time bombs of grace. They will detonate at the right moment in their future. I command you to pray for leaders. Connect heaven's wisdom to earth's authorities. You complain about the state of the world, the corruption, the chaos. But have you prayed? Have you invited my kingdom to come and my will to be done in the halls of power? The heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord. I can turn it like a watercourse. Stop cursing the darkness and start lighting a candle of intercession. Understand the ripple effect. Your connection with me blesses your entire household. When you walk in my favor, it spills over. Obed kept the Ark of the Covenant in his house for 3 months, and I blessed him in everything he had. Your presence in your workplace, your home, and your city brings a residual blessing. You are a carrier of my glory. Fulfill the law of Christ by bearing one another's burdens. When a friend is crushed by grief, pick up your end of the load in prayer. When a brother is trapped in sin, do not gossip about him. Intercede for him. Lift others up. Use your minutes to plead their case. Remember Job's restoration. Job had lost everything. He was in agony. But his breakthrough didn't come when he prayed for himself. It came when he prayed for his friends, the very friends who accused and annoyed him. The Lord restored Job's losses when he prayed for his friends. There is a key here. Sometimes your own breakthrough is tied to your willingness to fight for someone else. Unlock your blessing by blessing others. Get on the family plan. Start praying for the person who annoys you the most. Watch what I do. I have an upgrade available for you. You have been operating on version 1.0 of your faith for too long. You are content with the basics, going to church, saying a quick prayer, trying to be a good person. But I have so much more for you. I am calling you to move from milk to meat. It is time to grow up. You cannot survive the battles ahead with a child's understanding of the kingdom. I want to give you deeper revelation, stronger authority, and a closer walk with me. Sanctification is the process of the upgrade. It is the process of becoming more like my Son, Jesus. It is not always comfortable. It means uninstalling the old programs of pride, selfishness, and fear. It means downloading the new software of humility, service, and courage. I want to change the way you think, the way you react, and the way you love. I want people to look at you and see a glitch in the matrix of the world because you look so much like heaven. I must warn you, this upgrade requires pruning. To get better reception, I have to cut away the dead branches. I have to remove the things in your life that are sucking up your energy, but bearing no fruit. It might be a relationship that is dragging you down. It might be a habit that is distracting you. It might be a good thing that is keeping you from the best thing. Pruning hurts. You feel the cut. You cry out, "Lord, why are you taking this?" But I am not hurting you. I am preparing you for a greater harvest. I cut you so you can grow. I am expanding your capacity. I am stretching your faith to receive bigger downloads of my glory. You are asking for an ocean of blessing, but you are holding a thimble. I need to stretch you into a bucket, then a barrel, then a reservoir. Stretching is uncomfortable. It feels like tension. But without the stretching, you cannot hold the new thing I am doing. Come with me to the mountain of transfiguration. Leave the valley of the mundane. I want to show you my glory. I want you to see Jesus not just as a teacher, but as the glorified King. This requires you to climb. It requires you to leave the crowd behind. The view from the upgrade is spectacular, but you have to be willing to make the trek. You need new wine skins. You cannot put the new wine of my spirit into the old, stiff skin of your past religious traditions or your limited mindset. If you do, you will burst. You must renew your mind. You must be flexible. You must be willing to change. Say yes to the upgrade. Click install on your heart today. Do not settle for an obsolete version of Christianity. I have fresh power, fresh anointing, and fresh vision waiting for you. Do not unplug before the download is complete. To stop now is to reject the fullness of the anointing I have prepared for you, leaving your spirit incomplete. Do not disappoint heaven by settling for half a miracle when I have promised you the whole kingdom. Press on, for the final instruction is a matter of life or death. You are asking for an upgrade in your spirit. But remember, true maturity moves from consuming my blessings to funding my kingdom. To whom much is given, much is required. I am inviting you to expand your capacity by sowing a seed that breaks the spirit of scarcity off your life. When you support this work through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal, you are investing in the new wine skins that carry my truth to the nations. I promise that as you water this garden, I will water you, turning your own life into a well-watered tree whose leaves do not wither. Do not clutch your resources in fear. Release them in faith and watch me open the windows of heaven over your finances. This is your moment to partner with the prophetic voice that feeds you. Check the link in the description and sow your best gift today as an act of worship. We need to check your battery life. I see the red warning light flashing on your soul. You are running on empty. You are trying to serve everyone, fix every problem, and carry every burden, and you are doing it on 1% battery. You are irritable, exhausted, and spiritually dry. You cannot serve me if you are not connected to me. You are trying to drive a car with no gas. You are trying to make calls with a dead phone. I commanded the Sabbath because I know how you are built. I am the manufacturer, and the manual says you need to recharge. The Sabbath is not a suggestion. It is a commandment. It is not just about sleeping. It is about plugging back into the source. You need to stop striving. You need to stop producing. You need to just be with me. When you refuse to rest, you are saying that you don't trust me to handle the universe for one day. Let go. The world will keep spinning while you nap. I am the vine. You are the branches. The branch does not struggle to produce fruit. It just hangs on to the vine. The life flows from the vine into the branch. When you detach from me, you wither. You dry up. You become brittle. The cure for burnout is not working harder. It is abiding deeper. Plug the charger back and spend time in my presence without an agenda. Just soak. Remember Elijah under the broom tree. He was a mighty prophet, but he was burned out. He wanted to die. He was exhausted from the spiritual warfare. I didn't lecture him. I didn't tell him to pray more. I gave him a snack and a nap. I let him sleep. Then I fed him again. Sometimes, the most spiritual thing you can do is take a nap. You are in a human body. Treat it with care. I want to refresh your soul. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. I will not give you more rules. I will give you rest. Real, deep, soul-level rest. I want to wash away the grime of the battle. I want to sing over you while you sleep. Sustainable service flows from overflow, not from the bottom of the barrel. You are trying to give water to others from a dry well. Let me fill you up first. Let your cup run over. Then, serve from the saucer. Serve from the excess. Do not deplete yourself to the point of collapse. I need you in this fight for the long haul. Protect your battery. Guard your rest. Plug in and stay connected. I love you too much to let you burn out. Rest in me. I am speaking now to the one who feels too ashamed to pick up the phone. You have drifted. You used to be close to me. We used to talk every day. You remember the fire you once felt, the passion you had when you first believed. But life happened. Disappointment happened. A slow fade occurred. You stopped reading the Word. You stopped praying. You started compromising in small ways that eventually became big ways. Now, you look at where you are and where you used to be, and you think the gap is too wide to cross. You think you have lost the connection forever. But I need you to hear this truth. I have not changed my number. I am exactly where you left me. I command you to reject the lie of too far gone. The enemy whispers that you have messed up one too many times, that you are damaged goods, that I am angry with you. That is a lie from the pit of hell. There is no pit so deep that my love is not deeper still. You cannot outsin my grace. You cannot run farther than I can reach. I am the God of the U-turn. I am the God of the fresh start. My arms are not crossed in judgment. They are open wide in welcome. I am not waiting to say I told you so. I am waiting to say welcome home. I offer you a warm welcome. Do not let your pride keep you in the pigpen when you belong in the palace. The prodigal son hesitated to return because he thought he would only be a servant. He rehearsed a speech to beg for a job, but the father didn't even let him finish the speech. He ran to him. I am running to you right now. I see your repentant heart. I see the tears you cry in secret. I am ready to embrace you, dirty clothes and all. You do not need to clean yourself up to come back. Come back, and I will clean you. I declare a restoration of position. When you return, you do not come back as a guest or a servant. You come back as a son. You come back as a daughter. I put the ring of authority back on your finger. I put the robe of righteousness back on your shoulders. You are still mine. Your mistakes did not cancel your adoption. I will heal your backsliding. I will love you freely. I will restore the years the locusts have eaten. There is a party in heaven waiting for your return. You think heaven is scowling at you? No. There is more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who need no repentance. The angels are waiting to celebrate your return. Do not rob heaven of its joy. Do not rob yourself of my peace. A line is open. A connection can be restored in a nanosecond. All it takes is one step, one prayer, one honest I'm sorry. I'm home. I miss you. I am calling you to share this contact. You have the direct line to the King of Kings, yet you often keep it to yourself. You treat your relationship with me like a secret society, afraid to mention my name in public, afraid to offend, afraid to be labeled one of those people. But I command you, do not gatekeep the gospel. You have the cure for the virus that is killing the world. How can you stay silent? If you found a cure for cancer, you would shout it from the rooftops. You have found the cure for death itself. Jared, your testimony is your most powerful tool. You do not need to be a theologian. You do not need to memorize the entire Bible. You just need to tell your story. Tell people, I answered the call, and it changed my life. Tell them, I was lonely, and he found me. I was broken, and he put me back together. No one can argue with your experience. No one can debate your transformation. Your life is the evidence. When you speak of what I have done for you, it sparks hunger in the hearts of others. Look around you. The world is lonely. People are dying for a connection that is real and eternal. They are scrolling through phones looking for validation, looking for hope, looking for something that lasts. They are drinking from dry wells. They are desperate. You have the living water. You have the bread of life. Stop assuming they don't want to hear it. They are waiting for someone to show them the way. Be that someone. I invite you to be a mouthpiece. Let me speak through you to reach the lost. Open your mouth, and I will fill it. Do not worry about what to say. The Holy Spirit will give you the words in that very hour. Just be willing. Ask me, Lord, who needs a call today? Who can I encourage? I will hide people to you. I will open doors of conversation. You just need to walk through them. Use your technology for my glory. You have a phone in your hand that connects you to the world. Use it for digital evangelism. Instead of posting just about your food or your vacation, post about my goodness. Share a verse that encouraged you. Send a text to a friend saying, I'm praying for you. Use the very tools that often distract you to distract others toward me. Be a light in the digital darkness. Remember the reward of the soul winner. He who wins souls is wise. There is no greater joy than introducing someone to their Savior. There is no greater legacy than leaving behind a trail of people who will be in heaven because you were brave enough to share the contact. Do not let fear silence you. Be bold. Be courageous. The harvest is ready. Go and gather them in. We need to talk about the final notification. You see the notifications on your phone. Battery low. Update available. Message received. But there is a notification coming that will override all others. The signs of the times are all around you. You see the chaos, the wars, the love of many growing cold. These are the birth pains. They are increasing in frequency and intensity. I command you, do not be asleep at the wheel. Do not get so caught up in the temporary affairs of this life that you miss the eternal reality approaching. The trumpet call is coming. It will be the ultimate sound that gathers my people home. It will shatter the silence of the sky. It will be the moment when faith becomes sight. Are you listening for it? Or are your ears so full of the world's music that you are deaf to heaven's frequency? I want you to live with one eye on your work and one eye on the sky. Live ready. Live expectant. I urge you to be prepared. Keep your lamp trimmed and your oil filled. Remember the parable of the 10 virgins. 5 were wise and brought extra oil. 5 were foolish and ran out. The oil represents the Holy Spirit, intimacy, and readiness. You cannot borrow spiritual preparation from someone else at the last minute. You cannot live on your mother's faith or your pastor's prayers. You must have your own supply. Get ready now. Do not wait until the midnight cry. There is no time for games. The night is coming when no man can work. Labor while it is day. Stop wasting your time on things that will burn up in the fire. Invest your life in what lasts: souls, love, the kingdom. If you knew I was coming back tomorrow, how would you live today? Who would you forgive? Who would you share the gospel with? What sins would you drop? Live like that every day. Live with urgency. I give you the assurance of salvation. If you are mine, you have nothing to fear in the final days. The world may be terrified, men's hearts failing them for fear, but you can lift up your head. Your redemption draws nigh. You are not destined for wrath. You are destined for a wedding. I am coming back for a bride, not a victim. I am coming back for you. So look up. Do not look down at the headlines and get depressed. Look up at the promises and get excited. The King is coming. The story has a happy ending for those who love me. The final call is not a funeral dirge. It is a wedding bell. Be watching. Be waiting. Be working. I am coming soon. My child, we are reaching the end of this conversation, but it is not the end of our connection. I give you the promise of presence. I am with you always, even to the end of the age. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Whether you feel me or not, I am there. Whether you are on the mountaintop or in the valley, I am there. I am the constant in your variable world. I am the anchor in your storm. I plead with you. Don't hang up now. You have come too far to turn back to the silence of the world. You have tasted and seen that the Lord is good. Do not settle for the junk food of the world again. Stay on the line. Keep the conversation going. Wake up tomorrow and talk to me. Go through your day whispering to me, and your night resting in me. Let your whole life be a continuous call with your Creator. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. I am always knocking. I am always seeking entry into new areas of your life. Will you open the door? Will you give me the keys to every room in your heart, even the messy ones? Open wide. Let the King of Glory come in. I want to sup with you and you with me. I want deep, abiding fellowship. I speak a blessing over you. May the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ be with your spirit. May the love of God surround you like a shield. May the fellowship of the Holy Spirit lead you into all truth. I bless your going out and your coming in. I bless your work and your rest. I bless your family and your future. Receive it. Walk in it. I give you a guarantee. Heaven is a place of face-to-face communion. One day there will be no more phones, no more veil, no more stag. You will see me as I am. You will look into my eyes, and you will know that you are home. Every tear will be wiped away. Every question will be answered. Every pain will be healed. That is your future. That is your inheritance. This is my love letter to you. I have loved you with an everlasting love. Therefore, with loving kindness, I have drawn you. I chose you. I wanted you. I died for you. I rose for you. And I am living for you. You are my beloved. You are my child. Never forget it. The call is ending, but my love never ends. Go in peace. Go in power. I love you. The call is ending, but the mission to wring the hearts of the lost has only just begun. I am looking for partners who will help keep this line open, ensuring that my voice reaches the ends of the earth without interruption. By giving a super thanks, becoming a member, or donating via PayPal, you become a co-laborer in the harvest, storing up treasures where moth and rust cannot destroy. Remember that one cannot harvest without first planting. Every seed sown into this fertile ground will return to you as a harvest of favor and protection for your household. Do not let this moment pass without action. Seal your commitment to the spread of my word. Show me your heart for the lost. Go to the description, click the link, and give generously now to keep the signal strong for those who are still waiting to hear my voice. My child, do not let this connection fade into the silence of the day. Seal your commitment right now before the distractions return. I call you to make a mark in the physical realm that reflects the change in your spiritual heart. Prophecy to your own soul and let the enemy know you are no longer unavailable by declaring your obedience boldly. Write these words below as a sign of your surrender. I am answering the call. As you type this declaration, believe that I am answering you immediately with power, peace, and a destiny that cannot be put on hold. Amen.